Hi, everybody. Laura here from Hedgehog's Homestead. It's good to see everybody. Skinner, good to see you. Gil, Adenir, good to see you. Green Granny, also good to see you as well. And just excited to be here tonight. I started out today what I wanted to talk about, and I wasn't sure. I'm always wanting to have fun. I put the link in the chat, so if anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome. Um, you have to show your face. If I don't know you, then I have to see your face, and I'm not promising that I'll let everybody up. To Courtney.
Hey,
Oh,
how are you?
I'm good. Some of the things that I was kind of wanting to talk about is just some of the changes that have kind of happened with me and my husband lately, and good things, good things. And fishes, how are you doing? Let me change this.
I was gonna say we're all big.
Yeah, we're a little big, a little scary, a little scary. We're all squished in here.
I'm squished in real big like this. Or she felt like this.
And you're feeling a little like this. Hey, Chris, if you
Hey,
want to
everybody.
come up, the link is in the chat above. Good to see you in here. One of the things that I was talking about is just how kind of desperate for good news, that we've been lately. We just, just with all this stuff going on, just the desperation for good news. It's been so long since there's like changes all the time, and just
Hey,
constant.
Lake and Bigfoot. What's up, Lake?
Hey, Lake, Bigfoot.
Oh, they're there. I was like, is mine delayed?
Yeah, good to
or
see
what?
you.
Hey, hey, Chris. Hey, everybody. I'm
Hey,
looking for
Skinner.
lipstick. I'll be right in there.
So
Hello,
it's
peoples.
just been a little crazy, and like last night, I kept on getting these blue alerts in Tennessee. They send out blue alerts
See?
for any police activity
Oh,
that's
okay.
going on. I guess a cop was shot yesterday,
Ooh,
and and just,
alert.
I was just like,
That's horrible.
wow.
Where was it? Is it in the state or is it in
It
the?
was in Nashville where he was shot, but he was predicted to be in this area.
Dang.
And so I was like, "Oh, I'm just not liking all this
No.
news."
Well, around
Yeah.
Nashville and Nashville in general, it's a bad area. People
Yeah.
don't think that, but there are areas in Nashville like you wouldn't even want to drive through. It's that
Right.
bad.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
Well, and
Well,
there's
they have great tacos, though. I'm sorry.
they do
What?
get great tacos in Nashville.
Yeah. There's a little hole in the wall that we
Hey,
found.
Sherry, how you doing? Cher.
Thanks to following some people, some musicians, and their wives and stuff. Yeah. About a great taco place. I can't remember the name of it. I ended up spilling a drink all down my crotch and everything though once we got in the car.
Let me guess, you were wearing white pants.
Hey, Sherry, if you're on your phone or whatever, there's a
It
link
always
in
happens when
the
you wear white
chat.
No, I think I was in
Come up
shorts.
here and talk to people. I'll put it up
I
again.
was in shorts. Yeah. But
Pardon me while I eat dinner.
I
just came in from working hard out there.
Oh.
Getting ready for concrete. Oh, there he is. Go ahead and swap me and Chris around. He wants to be in the middle.
Thanks, Gil. I just went to take a wicked whiz, and I was only going to come up because it was way too estrogen heavy here, and we can't have that imbalance, about equity. And then I saw Josh came up, and so, I was a little relieved as I went to the restroom.
Yeah,
so.
click on Chris's on the screen, Laura. Click on Chris and drag him to where I'm at.
Laura, this is my first time appearing on your panel.
Yes, thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being a loyal viewer of my channel, as is Gil and Courtney and Carol and Lisa Ann and Jimmy here in Romper Room. No,
I just dropped my pistachio while you were saying that.
Everybody from
bated breath.
Chris Wyatt, Africa. He's got a great channel. Check him out.
Mhm.
I have the best channel, be
You
honest.
do have a great channel. Everybody up here has a really good channel.
But I'm such an emotional wreck.
Everybody's me.
You know, one of my
And
viewers
Josh.
died, and
That was awful.
Josh
Yeah, it
over here
sucks.
to your other side, he likes to wear spandex pants.
Did you say Josh likes to wear
Where?
spandex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really need to see that. That's an image.
He doesn't like to wear them. He just
Come
does
on now.
He does it for
Yo.
clicks.
Leggings for dudes.
No.
It's the Victoria's Secret collection for men.
Right.
It was
wow.
a joke. Everybody was like, "Well, you won't do it."
Hey, Josh, you're joking, but dudes wear leggings, man. I've been out extra. I'm like, what the
I
hell?
mean,
Triathlete.
Well, you only have to watch some
Triathletes
sports,
wear
right, to
leggings.
see men wearing
Yeah.
leggings.
What's that, Laura?
You only have to wear sport or watch some sports to see some men wearing leggings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you
Well,
see him
crank
wearing
up your-
thongs, that's when you get nervous.
Right.
Crank your volume up, Laura,
I had to.
since you're the hostess with the most.
The hostess with the mostest. Can you hear
I'd
me
be able
better
to
now?
hear you.
I had to get just a little
Don't
bit.
forget, men wear skirts. Or actually, they're called kilts, but
Kilts are sexy.
Yeah.
Well, on the right, guys. You know.
So Sherry, what's
Well-
going on in Portland?
Cousin,
Josh,
Where
yeah.
did Josh go?
He's gone.
He's
He
gone.
must have a South African internet connection.
Or my internet connection.
Yeah, or
Pretty
that. Yeah.
bad sometimes, I tell you.
Wow. Boy, mine was bad the other day. I mean, I only had 370 kilobytes of upload. I'm supposed to have 40 megabytes. And today I had 22 upload and only 88 download, which is about a gigabyte less than I'm supposed to get download. I don't know what's going on. I want my money back.
Yeah, those aren't the legging wearers we want to see.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that word, Sherry, in here.
Yeah, I would erase it. Just let her know that that's
Okay.
not, you know what I mean? It protects your channel
Right.
Yeah.
if you want
Sherry,
your channel.
just go ahead and retract it.
Yeah, just retract your message.
You can say it at Chris Wyatt's.
I mean, we're not mad at you or anything, but there's just some things that just like can't be said, you know?
The,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that man
algorithm
was
goes
It's
nuts
my
on it.
sister. She'll get it.
She got it.
Well, then she's
She got it.
definitely
It's
not
gone.
mad at you.
It's gone. Well, wait a second. Siblings, the odds are pretty good. She is mad.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Like,
Laura, you were saying before we also rudely interrupted
Yes,
you
go
something
ahead.
about something's going on with you and
Oh.
your husband. What was that?
Oh, just we're just like coming to light of what, just wanting some peace and just, finding our peace in scripture and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that. And,
Gotcha.
and
Some serenity.
some serenity. Yeah.
Okay,
Because
cool.
it's just, I mean, the only good news has been the Roe versus
No. Lots of good news. Lots of good news. Let me
Yeah,
run
a
through it.
couple others
Let
too.
me run through it. You had the high school that fired a coach for practicing his freedom of speech and freedom of religion by praying on the field with his players after game. They were overruled. They have to give him his job back and give him his back pay. You had a situation of New York where it had an abomination of a law forcing citizens to explain why they should be justified in having concealed carry in New York State overturned. You had today a veteran who was fired by the Department of Texas Public Safety. Texas Department of Public Safety. He was a state trooper. He was injured on active duty, combat related, service disabled, came back. He couldn't perform as a state trooper, and he asked for an equivalent job in a big department, of the state, and they
Mhm.
refused him a job. The Supreme Court, in a shocking decision, 5-4, it should have been 9-0, said that he has the right to sue the state because the state refused his case. So these are all victories for liberty, all victories, good news, and there's a few more of them, but those are just the big ones. Of course, Roe versus Wade, which for me is not, I know for people of faith, it's a big issue when it comes to life. And I agree with you on that. But for me, the bigger issue is somebody that supported and defended the Constitution for 36 and a half years. It was an abomination, a disgrace to the Constitution. It was a violation of the principles of our nation. And correcting that error is what I'm excited about. Now it goes back to the states, and these demonic leftists, if they're upset, go to their congressmen, go to their state senators, write petitions, get legal permits to
Problem is that
protest.
They don't, and then all they do is
Yeah, that's
post on Facebook.
it's because because they're just non-shaving, foul smelling, nasty latte sipping lunatics.
Yeah.
As
And-
I drink
and-
my Starbucks.
And
Link
unfortunately,
and Bigfoot, you would really like his channel. I highly suggest watching it. You guys would be down for it.
Yeah, yeah. Bigfoot and Lake Ferry are awesome.
Bigfoot is real, and I love Jacques Cousteau.
They are a faith-based channel.
I love
and,
Donna Cousteau.
we love them. Yeah, like in Portland, Sherry's talking about, just a lot of riots and things like that. I haven't been paying attention too much. I'm sorry, Sherry. It's crazy, but that group is very active in Portland, and they're allowed to do whatever you want, but
Including assault people.
yeah, and yes, exactly. And as soon as anybody else stands up against them, then
The riot police come in.
the riot police, and then they're damned because
Yeah.
they touched them too much.
No. I'm saying the riot police come in against the people who stand up to them. Well,
Yes.
I saw in Portland when people had a pro-life rally, a permit at a park there, and these thugs from that group came up and started knocking their speakers over and assaulting people, and the cops just stood there and watched it. They didn't do a darn thing about it. I've seen the video footage of that. It's, look, the thing, I don't know if any of you saw it, the video I put together, which is it's about 8 or 9 minutes or something, 6 or 7 minutes. And it's all these clips of this stupidity. And I put AOC commenting and linking all these things. And the most disturbing part of all that for me wasn't the vile people twerking, trying, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish there. The most vile part for me was 13-year-old Fantasia. First off, I'd smack her parents for naming her Fantasia. That's the first problem. 13-year-old Fantasia with fake blood, wearing shorty shorts, standing in the streets of DC going, I'm Fantasia, I'm 13, I'm from Maryland. And then an expletive-laced rant from her about the right to murder children. She's 13. She probably hasn't had her menstrual cycle yet, and she already wants to murder children. I mean, that's disturbing. That's just whether you're pro-life,
could include her.
right, whether you're pro-life or not, that should disturb people. 13-year-old, their first desire in life is to murder a child in the womb. That's twisted.
Yeah.
Imagine the
Thank you,
parents.
Courtney. Hi, Peterson, and hi, Rebecca.
Night Skinner.
Night, Skinner.
Night, cousin.
That was quick.
Yeah.
In and out.
In and out. Gotta go to bed.
That's the burger joint.
He's a working fool. Yeah,
In
it
and
is a
out.
burger joint.
Not a very good one, but hey.
Hey, Triple Threat. How you been?
Yeah, and I the first time I went there and somebody said you have to get animal style, so I got animal style or whatever it's called, and I was like, oh, okay. So just more fat on it. That's
Well, yeah. Huh? What's your beef? No pun intended.
I assume it's Lake. Am I talking to Lake or Bigfoot? I don't know. I assume it's Lake.
Yeah.
Bigfoot would be sending me that.
Both their
Yeah, I
parents
used
were in
to
both
like Carl's Jr., but I mean, I'm not really on the fast track to coronary disease these days.
yeah. Let's talk about that. And I got blood pressure issues too. I'm not going there.
I just had
No, I don't. I'm just I don't. I just took preemptive action before I got to that
Actually,
stage of life.
I have a problem with sodium problems. It's not my heart or anything. My heart's in great condition
Mhm.
because I exercise, and my cholesterol's great. All that stuff's great. It's just I have to watch my sodium.
Yeah.
No, I got you. My problem isn't sodium. It isn't cardiovascular. It's my attitude. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well,
I can
Chris,
see that.
that's
You
a
get
lot
a
of
little
other people's
excited.
problems too.
I'm just
You're gonna
saying.
be excited, Chris. That's for
Oh
sure.
my goodness,
I
Devin
wa-
turned 17. Wow. Whoa.
What's that, Carol?
I said you do get a
turned
bit
17.
excited. I get concerned.
no,
Glad
no,
you have a
no.
good heart.
Well, that aneurysm has a strong wall of tissue around it, so it's okay.
Oh, that would be horrible. Don't even joke. Oh my god.
We don't joke about aneurysms in our
No.
family. My dad died once.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know that. A colleague of mine, when I was a lieutenant, we went out for a run. I ran on my own. I was a staff officer. They were running nearby. Came back. I was stretching after the run, and I looked over to the left of me, and the whole people just rushed over. The lieutenant in charge of platoon, they came back. He was standing there, fell over, called a helicopter. He never made it to the hospital.
Yesterday,
He was in his early 20s. Aneurysm just burst in his head.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just can happen at any time. So yeah. So Laura, my apologies. I didn't mean to be insensitive. I didn't know that.
No. Don't worry about it.
That's scary.
I'm just, yeah.
It is. No, well, I mean, look, I don't know what happened to Dion Gerba on my channel. He was
Yeah.
on the chat the night before.
Oh.
Yeah.
And, you know,
that
and then
was
just,
sad.
and that, so literally he must have died within a few hours of being on our program.
Mhm.
So how cool that he spent some of his last moments with us. That's,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that, so he's a really cool guy. He really did a lot to help my channel and help keep South Africans informed about dangers. So it's,
Yeah.
and with my
let's-
trip coming in August, I was looking forward to meeting him and his wife. And now I'm just kind of bummed out.
You can still meet his widow, though. She might
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, but he used to joke all the time. He's like, "Hey, Chris, your girlfriend Hanley can't wait to see you." It's his
Oh,
wife.
yeah.
so I mean, it's gonna be a little awkward, without him there.
Now it's just kind of inappropriate.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
just,
gosh.
just a little bit.
Or you could just bring her flowers and joke about it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it's still going to
If
be
she- if
awkward
she
though.
says the joke,
It
she's-
would have been a lot more fun with him there, so he could joke about it. But now it's just gonna be like, "Do you have coffee?
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
scones?
Scones.
I don't know. What do people have with coffee? Biscuits and gravy? I don't know.
Do they have Starbucks
Crazy.
there?
They have Starbucks in South Africa, but only in a few locations.
You have coffee with coffee, a little almond milk in it. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Unless they have
almond
cookies.
milk.
only
Oh.
have-
Can't do
like-
coffee at all.
You can't say that to a dairy farmer. That's sacrilege. Almond milk.
Well, I
Oh.
think you would
I
much
might be
rather
able to-
have almond milk.
I might be able to do the almond milk in it. Maybe. I don't know. I can't do coffee. It just makes me so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is a
No.
vile substance from Satan, so I understand that.
Okay.
Coffee it was a substance invented by Satan to enslave mankind, and it works.
You just have a little bit of the satanic coffee in your mixture of milk.
Right. This is almost all sugar and
It's
chocolates. That's why I drink it.
It's like
Yeah.
chocolate milk with a touch of.
It's
My
like it's
mom-
yeah.
My mom is addicted to those things.
These
And
here?
She
Yeah.
has one of those every morning. And she gets mad if they don't have her kind at the store.
This is my 5th one today. I'm lucky
She's-
I don't weigh 400 pounds.
She's like, they
Wow.
don't have any of that mocha. And she'll even complain to the store.
Where's my mocha?
Sarah, I love milk. I can't do milk. I can do half and half, and I can do all the other stuff I love.
Are you
sour
like
cream? I love cream
Lactose
cheese.
intolerant or something?
No, my body just doesn't like it. It's cow breast milk, and when you get to
I
a
am
certain age,
all
it's women-
Nordic.
Oh,
That
yeah.
genetic mutation made us powerful. We
Yeah.
conquered the world being able
Yeah,
to
you're
consume
drinking
lactose.
estrogen.
Are you
Enjoy.
Nordic? Are you Viking?
That's why my boobs are feeling so just tender today.
It's cow boob milk, cow breast milk.
I guarantee you there's soy in that coffee that you're drinking.
There's
You
nothing
know-
wrong with soy. I just said it's like
Oh.
almond milk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but soy
What's wrong
has
with almond
estrogen in
milk?
it.
Yeah.
The wrong kind.
Look,
don't- don't
Homo
need-
sapiens, even dudes produce estrogen, just not nearly as much as chicks.
Yeah.
Not normally.
More dudes produce more estrogen lately than they have.
Yeah,
in the
I think
past
those
years.
groups all dressed
Well,
in black.
yeah, there's that.
And it's
likely.
changed their bodies and I think their minds a little bit. Maybe.
I don't know what you're getting at all.
Yes. I don't know either.
More than 1,000 milligrams of caffeine, which is more than Yeah, I just don't need that kind. I mean, I love a Diet Coke,
You would
Not
never
gonna
get off the
lie.
toilet
Ugh.
if you had.
but I can't just do caffeine. If I did caffeine all day, I would be sicker than a dog.
I
Yeah.
can mainline caffeine and lie down and fall asleep.
I used to be
Courtney,
one of
Look
those.
at this. Look at the next.
Give me my caffeine. And
Look
now I'm
at the next one line where it says how much it costs. The next one I put in the rest of it.
Oh God. Oh.
$148 for a drink from Starbucks.
What?
What are you talking about, Gil?
Where do you get $148? What?
I just looked it up.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
That
I have
drink.
Venti flat white. What? What are you
Yeah,
talking
that,
about?
that drink is the most expensive drink that's on the menu at Starbucks.
Didn't
That
know it
was
was
Now,
on the
it's
for a
not
menu.
on their
month or a
menu, so
year?
It can't be.
That can't be right. That math seems wrong.
I really need a stuffed monkey for
Venti is
monkeypox.
the
I gotta find one
largest
of
that
those.
they have.
Yeah, you do.
Venti is actually bigger than your stomach.
Yeah, that can't be right. I've been to Starbucks a lot, and I've never seen $148.99 on it.
That's a special order drink, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So all you have to say, Gil, when you walk in for that drink is, "I just like to be screwed. Should I bend over the counter now?" $148.
Exactly. Hey,
$148.
That is almost
Is that the cake?
10
cup?
years worth
That's for
of
sure,
membership to our channels.
10 years. Well, it's like
Dave's
me
like,
today.
"What
You
is
know, I was on my broadcast and I was talking about "In God We Trust," and I showed a $20 bill and I said, "Yeah, look, three years of super chats right here."
Oh, too sad. Too sad.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
my poor teddy bear.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
You know, people covet my teddy bears and they're
That's
not
what I
getting
thought
them.
too, Aid.
They're
Those
not
are
getting
gold
them.
flakes.
They're not
Well, yours
getting
are
them.
the true teddies that you have.
No, this isn't. Yeah, that's right.
That's not
It's
your
up there.
Steiff.
There's
There's
my
Steiff.
Steiff. There's
Yeah.
one of my Steiff right there.
Steiff. I have to
Yeah,
say
they-
it correctly. Steiff.
Yeah, that's why I can't. That's why I can't be cremated, because they have to go in the casket with me. So,
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
okay.
Steiff. Ooh, that sounds a little creepy and a little too much attached to my Steiff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
a little
too
bit.
much
Say hello.
for your Steiff. Indeed.
Yeah.
I was watching some German movie with subtitles, and
Texas.
what was it? They said something that was like, "Oh, super," but it means another word. Super.
Okay.
They go super, and then
Super.
great. It says or something.
Well, guile means
Well,
great.
it's probably the
Yeah.
subtitles that were messing that up.
Yeah, they're probably
doing it,
bad
and I'm
sub. You
like,
probably got the the discount subtitlers. Is Texas Red Leg an artilleryman?
I don't know.
Red Leg is a nickname for artilleryman.
Oh,
Probably.
let us know, Texas.
It's buttermilk. Oh God, that's vile. Oh, I can't stand that stuff. Buttermilk. Oh, that's vomit inducing.
They put it in biscuits.
You are such a
though.
picky eater.
Oh, it's such a
That's
wuss.
what makes biscuits so fluffy.
Yeah. Oh, biscuits and gravy. That I can deal with.
Yeah, well, buttermilk's in them. That's what makes.
What was
it
that crap we used to
fluffy.
eat when you're young? Not hash, but what was it?
He answered your
Scrapple?
question, Chris.
Scrabble. Oh my God, who came up with that garbage, man? I loved it.
Gross.
It's disgusting.
My old boss was from Denmark. Not
Yeah.
Denmark.
Denmark.
Not Denmark. Delaware.
Delaware. Okay, that's a
From
little
Delaware.
Courtney.
Country,
Courtney.
state.
Denmark is in Europe, and they're all blonde and blue-eyed.
Yeah, the blonde.
Delaware's in New Jersey, and Joe Biden lives there.
She was from Delaware, and she said that is very popular there.
Scrabble?
Me too,
Yes.
Bertrand.
It's vile, but I love it. I mean, I haven't had it in years.
Scrabble.
Did
Did you say
brought
Scrabble
it
like the game?
to a
It's
work
Scrabble.
meeting?
And Trupples.
Peace.
She brought it to a work meeting,
Firearms,
and everybody
nice to
tasted
see.
it. It was disgusting.
Scrabble.
Gross.
It's awesome. It's terrible. I love it.
It looked like pumpernickel bread.
It looks like roadkill is what it looks like.
roadkill. It's like all chopped up and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it does. It looks like
Yeah.
roadkill, like it's been run over a few times, like a dead squirrel lying in the road. Saw one of those today.
Hey, tuber.
They don't do so well in the summer heat when they get crushed.
No. No.
Yeah. Especially if your windows are down for some reason, like airing out the heat off the plastic in your car.
Oh, it's not a skunk, man. Oof, man.
No, we don't have a lot of dead squirrels around here. We just have some really bloated deer on the side of the road.
Listen, we get a lot of those here too. Deer are just out of control in Pennselsylvania.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I used to go all the time up to Allentown for hockey games, and in October, November when they're moving, going up there on one of the interstates, I counted over 200 dead deer carcasses in an hour and a half drive. On the way back, another 150. That's in one little stretch of Pennsylvania. Must have been tens of thousands for the year. There's just so many of them.
I had a whole family in Valley Forge. They just huffed. And I was
family
like,
what?
"Hey."
Deer?
Mhm.
Oh,
So the
Yeah.
cutest
So
two
watching the stars and
a doe
herds.
go over the road with two little fawns today. And I'm like, oh,
they're so
a
cute.
couple years ago, I was out exercising one of the country roads, and I've walked every road in this county and the neighboring one. And I saw a deer that had been clipped by somebody, and obviously
Mhm.
it wasn't going to side. Back legs were messed up. I was trying to struggle to get up the embankment.
Aw.
So I called 911 to get the cops, and it was on the state highway. So the state trooper came out and put it down. So it was.
Mm.
I waited until the cop came just so it wouldn't wander off and suffer. So
Yeah, that was nice. That's awful.
yeah, it's still a drag, though. It's
Yeah.
It's sad that the person left it. I hope that's what it was, and it wasn't the wasting disease that they.
No. This deer was hit. You could tell. It
Oh,
been hit. But it's also sad that whoever hit it. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was saying.
you would have known. I mean, because maybe it brushed the back end, but I mean, the legs were just messed up. So anyway,
That's fun.
anyway,
Like we need good news, and we're talking about all this.
we got songs in their
Roadkill.
head. I've had the Love Boat theme in my head all afternoon.
The love boat
Soon we'll be dancing.
taking another
The
run.
run, come aboard.
Love boat.
We're expecting you and love.
Oh my!
Stop it! You're gonna get it
Anymore.
copyrighted.
Oh, no. Trust me, when I sing, there's no risk of anybody being copyrighted. In fact, the owners of the song will disavow knowledge that it's their song when I sing it.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. You're not that.
So is that you preparing for travel? You sing that to yourself as you're heading out? among
No,
the
it's when I'm headed
ladies?
off to the club.
Oh,
I sing that.
Oh, when
It's either that or it's what is love, lady? Don't hurt me
Oh my god!
no more.
Oh, really?
You got to get in the mood when you hit the club. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's either that or I get a little R. Kelly on. Oh wait, I can't do that anymore.
No, don't even mention
I didn't
it.
mention
Like,
R.
just
Kelly.
the name of him makes me want to vomit. Like,
I suspect you're not alone in that one.
Makes me want to check on my children.
See, Laura, life is wonderful. Relax. Don't let these
is.
weird people bring you down with their stupid politics. It's going to be okay, man. It's gonna be
No,
okay.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just, I just got to dig in the word and give it back to God where it belongs.
Wow, Abe.
Oh no, you holy rollers, man. Here you go.
Yeah, I'm a holy roller. Watch out.
Caitlin?
Yeah, somebody sent me a video.
The beaver.
Sent me a video message in WhatsApp for a
Mhm.
video that I put online, a short, and wrote did like a 5-minute video and said, look, I'm an atheist and I respect other people's views, but these people believe in mystical things that were the secret man in the sky. It's like believing in Santa Claus and the world's 5,000 years old. I'm like, dude, when did I say that? What are you talking about? Get a grip. Calm down. Political.
Did
left.
you check the time? Because usually, around this time, Laura, my time, the drunks start to,
No, this was
try to
during the day.
get started and start.
Is that what you're saying?
They start text messaging Chris.
Be right back.
Oh, hey, Laura, I was
that's right.
unsubscribed from your channel. I had to resubscribe tonight.
Oh,
I
well,
was
good.
speaking of the male drunks, but okay, if you
Thank
want to
you.
be.
What is
Oh,
love?
that's right. I was supposed
Lady,
to have
don't
one of
hurt
my
me.
apple cider.
I actually like that song.
Oh, I love that song. Was it that Saturday Night Live skit, the Roxbury? They made the
Yes.
stupid movie of it. That was
It was
those
so
guys.
funny.
Those guys are so funny. That was when Saturday Night Live actually was entertaining before it became so woke.
When you got to
Question,
totally
guys.
dance into little
I got
80s
one.
dance, and to that song.
Question for you guys. What do you think of the song Tainted Love?
I love it. Soft Cell rocks, man.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
used to love that song.
there is a band in Spain called Broken Peach, and they
Okay.
did a Halloween takeoff on it. And it is absolutely, it's good singing. They sing it right, but it's
I'm not laughing
And
at
it
the
is.
name.
funny as heck.
I tried so hard to be
Thank
nice.
you.
Broken Peach. Why don't they just call themselves the Broken?
Well, no, it's Broken Peach. They got a lot of
I
videos
didn't
out, a lot of
even
albums
go
and stuff.
there. I didn't even go there, Fishes. What you people have nasty
I'm sorry,
minds.
but we had
Uh,
some other people in the panel that we both looked at each other and we both thought,
We
interesting.
both thought the same
Mhm.
thing, so I
Mhm.
guess we both.
I just thought, what a stupid name for a band. That was my reaction.
Well, the
Yeah.
peach is usually a butt on your emojis. Like that's
Yeah,
what you
yeah.
use for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
like
you ever-
peaches, so I don't.
They
I'm
should've
gross.
Anyway,
They
that's
should-
what I put in the chat there.
The only thing worse than a peach is a pear. God, they're disgusting.
You're such a
What I put in the chat there is the name of the video,
Okay.
and it is absolutely hilarious what they're doing. And they're all dressed up like zombie type
Yeah.
things, and they're moving, and they go all weird, and all of a sudden they're back in sync again. I like it. It's funny.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Gil. That's
Kelly
cool.
Homesteading and Pooh Bear. Sorry about the movie they're making about you, Pooh Bear, turning you into a murderer, you and Piglet. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah,
What
as
is
soon
Disney
as
doing?
Pooh Bear and Piglet became free or whatever, they're no longer under copyright or whatever. Oh yeah. There's a
Really?
murder film about Pooh Bear and Piglet going on a murder spree.
So Christopher Robin is fair game. I can write a book about Christopher Robin now.
I guess. I don't know. You have to check the characters that have been freed up. I guess it would be though.
Oh, can I write a story about a transgender
Slightly.
Christopher Robin?
I'm sure it's already in
That
the
would
works,
be
Chris.
interesting.
You're probably behind. They probably. Oh, sorry, bad choice of words.
Hey, Chuck and
Go back
Melinda.
to that again. You circle back to that. Let me go there, Jen.
Back to the beach.
The life of Christopher Robin,
Let me circle back to that.
Correct.
the documentary.
The documentary.
Life and Times of Christopher Robin.
Oh my
The
gosh.
secret
Secretly in love with his Pooh Bear.
For some reason, I can just see Piglet with a cigarette.
Yeah, that's right. Little curly tail hanging there, stand on two legs. It's an after cigarette. I could see that.
What's the donkey's name?
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
Rabbit's the one who
Where's
always
my
needed a
clam
cigarette.
tail?
Poor Rabbit. Rabbit.
Oh,
never
Eeyore was
needed a
just,
cigarette.
the thing about Eeyore is he's just an ass.
Ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum.
I may have to change my name. Don't change it
And
on
he's
our
always
account.
losing his tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightly.
No, Winnie the Pooh.
Nightly
Oh,
good.
good stuff, man. Oh, so my giant, which is like our Kroger,
Sorry,
our,
Kelly.
my giant, the people in the local one here, they have a Starbucks in there, and they came up with a Pooh Bear Frappuccino.
Ooh.
Oh my God, it's
What's
better
it
than
Like
sex.
honey?
Tell us.
It's better than sex.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm just saying.
Depends on what kind
I'm
of
just saying.
you're having.
No, all sex.
Yeah.
All
I
sex.
don't know what kind of sex
Hands
you're
down.
having, Chris, but
Hands down.
yeah.
Oh, you haven't had this Frappuccino.
Mm.
Uh,
I'm sorry, but no
Yeah.
Frappuccino would ever make me say that.
I've had some really good sex though. So.
She's a non-coffee girl.
Yeah.
Now, if it
But
was
is
a
it a
good
blonde?
tea,
Is it a blonde?
Cher says, "Oh bother." I think she meant, "Oh brother."
No,
Oh,
oh bother
bother.
is a
No.
statement from
It's
a-
who?
From
Oh
Pooh Bear.
bother.
Oh, I guess
bother.
it's been a while since I've read
hmm
that.
Yeah.
Like I got a rumbly in my tumbly.
That I remember. Yes.
Oh, bother, I'm out of
He's always
time.
getting stuck. Always getting stuck too.
I
Yeah.
love you, Caitlin.
So Kaylin would probably enjoy that Frappuccino very much.
There you go.
but wouldn't be able
No,
to
it's
say
actually
that
it's
same
quite
statement.
tasty. And I gave the recipe to another Starbucks, and they really just screwed it up. It was like vile.
So what is the recipe? Tell us.
Yes.
I have it somewhere. I'd have to look up the image, but it tastes like honey, but there's no honey in
I
it.
thought it
Really
tasted
well.
like honey.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Anyway, yeah,
Kaylin
and
doesn't smell like
and
honey.
a couple of the baristas there always when I come put like little, I don't know, caramel or something. That's not caramel, but something inside and drizzle on the insides of it. Makes me feel special.
Probably
Tastes so
caramel.
good. It's
I
not
thought you
caramel.
were going to say right hearts on your cup, like Chris.
No.
I'm sure they do.
I hope
It
not.
tastes like
Some of
honey,
the
but there's
baristas
no
are way
honey
too
in
young.
it.
If
Just
fish
like-
is your
just like
barista.
So it tastes like honey, but there's no honey in it. Sort of like the imitation vanilla. No real vanilla in it. Has something else in it.
Well, it's like a Long Island iced tea. It
Fever
tastes like an
juice.
iced tea, but there's no tea in it.
True. Well, I don't think that's the Frappuccino where they need a liquor license.
Well, only if they told people about it.
Wait a minute. There's no tea in Long Island iced tea?
No.
Sorry. Sorry. I
It's
hate
like
to break it
Southern
to you.
Comfort and
It's like
there's like
all
a bunch of
liquors.
alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Long Island
Layers
iced
of
tea
less
was,
alcohol.
yeah, that's a good drink when it's made properly.
Gary, do you remember the last time I ordered one of those when we were out and about?
I once been drank 8 of those.
Was it one of those where she had to hold your hair?
No.
Oh,
I just, we went to the bathroom and
Callie Homestead.
I drank it a little too fast because I was thinking tea.
Yeah.
And my lips go numb when I drink too much.
I've had that.
And I
happen.
said, my, with an N, is too numb. And out comes out of the bathroom an Asian lady.
You thought you're making
I'll
fun of
be
me?
excited right now,
And
though.
she thought, and she was like, we're out of here, like being very like defensive. And
Probably didn't know if you were sisters or not.
yeah, I felt so bad because I'm like, no, really, my lips, and I kept on saying,
The same thing.
yeah.
I think Gil and I didn't get that.
I'm pretending. I'm feigning ignorance.
Well, I was just ignorant. I'm so innocent. I completely missed that. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I think Gil's learned to go la 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 la. I can't hear you, but not say anything at all.
clearly I am innocent. I
being
mean, I
around
made the
us.
faux pas of saying that a frappuccino was better than sex. I'm being refuted by everybody in the chat.
At least
Even people that have no sex are refuting me. I'm celibate. You're wrong. I've never had sex. I know you're wrong. Oh well, more frappuccino for me.
I'm having iced tea tonight. And
Well,
not
I've been
Look up
drinking
that
tea
drink
for
now.
days. I am a iced tea freak.
I like sweet
yeah, I
tea.
like iced tea.
Sweet tea.
I'm
I'll be back in a minute.
But
I like regular iced tea, no
I
sugar.
exactly. That's how I said it, Sherry. Yes. Lum. I did say lum.
your poor nips.
I wonder what lum means in her dialect or her.
Yeah.
In her language, she's going like, "I'm gonna get the hell out of here."
In her language, she probably said, "I'm from Bakersfield."
You're right.
True.
Nope, just from Portland.
Where are your people from? Bakersfield. Sorry. I was going to say Shanghai. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
I
what
felt
it's called, the
so
poo
bad.
beer? What's it called, Chris?
So bad.
What's
Oh,
that?
my goodness.
What's the drink called? The frap.
Oh, no, it's just one. It's a local creation. It's called a Pooh Bear Frappuccino.
Well, they have off menu stuff that they'll share sometimes.
Yeah,
Maybe, but these guys created it, so I just got really lucky. But I've got the recipe here somewhere. I'll make it available to people at some point. I don't
Okay.
think I deleted the image. The problem is I have like tens of thousands of
Somebody
images on this
put
phone.
one.
It's like a terabyte of storage. It's huge. So I have to take them off
Yeah, that
occasionally.
would
How
be
to
a good
order the
one.
Winnie the Pooh Frappuccino from Starbucks secret menu. So it's on the secret menu.
Okay.
You were-
Okay.
You were a guinea pig. I hate to tell you.
No, it's
They
okay.
probably-
I've been a guinea pig for many things: experimental drugs from the U.S. Army, bullets from the Iraqi Army,
Yeah, the experimental drugs.
death
Yeah.
squads from the Serbs,
Experimental
terrorists from the Red Army faction.
Wives from the Serbs. Is that what you're
So you,
Death
you-
squads, yeah. My name was on the list. Death squads were hunting me down in
Oh,
Bosnia.
death squads. I thought you said the ex-wives from the Serbs, like there were a lot.
Yeah, I know. I was hunted by the housewives of Belgrade.
Hello, Colonel. Colonel, do you have a moment?
So you should be superhuman.
Been here a long time.
It
by
means
myself.
lumpy.
Oh, it's so cute.
What means
It
lumpy?
means-
Like
Lum in Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. Oh, okay.
It means lumpy.
Oh, she probably took that as an insult.
So I said her
either that or she was afraid you were gonna start.
she was a lumpy.
Yeah, if I'd have been her, I'd been like, yeah, and you're fat. Take that.
She was just probably thinking if,
I don't
if
know,
they're
did you
lumpy,
hear that,
you're gonna
Sherry?
bring it out in
It's
there and
lumpy.
show your friend. What have a conversation about it. She's like, I'm getting the
It's
heck
like
out
Jeff
of here.
Foxworthy talks about. Is it Jeff Foxworthy? Bill Engvall talks about. I think maybe it's Bill Engvall. He says, men go to the restroom and we don't have conversations. You don't look over at the dude in the urinal next. You go, hey, how's it going? But women go to the bathroom and they make friends. They're in there for like an hour. They come out. Oh, this is Diane, hon. You should meet her. Where the hell you been? In the toilet for an hour. But then I discovered, I went into a ladies' restroom one time. They got like couches in there and
Wow.
mirrors and coffee bars. It's like it's no wonder they spend so much time in there.
Dive bars aren't like that, but yeah, like if you go into Nordstrom's, we got a full on lounge.
Yeah. But if you go in a men's restroom, man, it's
Well,
like these
I have made
urinals.
friends with women in dive bars before.
This I have no doubt.
Lines are long.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
those
Well,
lovely
see,
toilets.
because
I've
they don't
peed
have
with
enough
women
toilets
before.
for women, so we all
You've
wait
peed
in
with women
line
before.
and chit chat.
Oh,
Courtney,
Yeah.
have you helped a friend that just couldn't unclench by holding her hand?
No, I waited
down
in
the water
line.
for
I
her,
was
though.
at, I
I'm
was
with
at
you.
a
I'm
huge
with you.
festival in Cleveland, and they didn't have enough porta potties. They had there was like 500 people there and like 40 porta potties. They
Oh my God.
miscalculated by quite a bit.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
Trump
Waiting in
rally.
line.
50,000 people, 10 portalets.
I
You
waited in
kinda
line for an hour, and I
sort of
told the
get
girls
it.
ahead of me, I said, if you guys go, I'm going with you.
That's like
So
when
all
you,
three of us went into a porta potty.
Together.
Yeah.
And so how do you like hang over
Teamwork.
that one and you all get in that hole? I'm just
It
wondering.
just, I
We're
don't know.
friends.
I was
I think
intoxicated.
it depends on the square footage of the bottom.
Yeah, and kind of whose shoes got that one? I'm just wondering.
That's why they wear sandals, open-toed shoes. There has been a proliferation of flip-flops amongst the younger generation who don't realize that's not footwear, it's showerwear.
Really?
Yes, flip-flops
Yeah.
are not for adults. That's for the shower or beach.
Oh,
It's for the shower at the beach, even here.
I wear flip flops all the time.
me too.
There's a lot of people who do that even here, and
But I live in
kinda agree
Tennessee.
with Chris, unless they're ladies who actually go get their nails done. I'm sorry, Laura, I didn't mean to talk over you. Sorry.
It's okay.
My feet
It's
are
a hot
not-
topic in Florida, especially guys wearing them with gross
Hey,
feet.
Mrs. Cosmic.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're coming to visit you.
Hey, Mrs. Cosmic.
I'm excited.
I'm confused. Is it the same person who changed their name?
No, that's the
There's a
Cosmic.
Mr.
That's-
and
So when Cosmic Cultivators is on my program, it's not her, it's him.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought it was a chick.
Yeah, Gina is
I'm not
I
Mrs.
don't know what to say to you.
I know I'm always greeting people, and I thought Cosmic Cultivators was a lady.
It doesn't say where the barista was from, but he's an avid TikToker, and
Of
he
course.
shared he was inspired to come up with a drink recipe after he was asked by a customer if there was ever a Pooh Bear Frappuccino.
And does he like long walks on the beach and thongs?
Yes, he does. Actually, it goes on to say that.
Okay,
And
well,
he
I
rubs
figured it would
money
be.
on himself before he goes there.
It's probably on his TikTok profile for that matter.
Yeah.
Mrs. Cosmic, I think we're gonna book the hotel this weekend. I'm excited. And I'm just excited.
Flip flops at work, Mrs. Cosmic.
that's
That
good.
is just so wrong. So you are an
They don't wear
industrial
gloves
accident.
either.
You're an industrial accident and lawsuit waiting to happen. I would fire you right now. You're fired.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
right,
wants to
you're
really
right.
grab that job up from them real quick. They're really hard workers, and
Yeah.
their boss loves them.
I don't care. That's beyond the pale.
And they save him in gloves too. They don't even bother. They said they just wash
What do
their
they
hands
do?
after they're done.
What do they do?
They're cleaners.
They clean, yeah, like
Crime scene cleaners?
No,
yes, they are.
like
Oh, damn.
industrial, like
They clean for the mob.
That would be cool. Yeah.
They clean
That's
for
a job. That's an actual job.
Yeah. I know.
yeah, they are.
I
industrial
could
cleaners.
never do that.
They make good money, but I
I'm
wouldn't.
sure they
want to
do.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Who
I
would
wouldn't
want
want.
to do that.
Hey,
That's
the
what-
Bob.
I could never
People
do it
who
after Chris
discourage.
told us about the turnaround in the stall
Bob.
where somebody did a 360 poop all the
Ooh.
way around the stall one time on them.
Hey, there's
Okay,
Bob.
so I started my Etsy shop. It's called The Corky's Cork.
Cute.
Corky's Quirk.
The link is in the link.
Wow.
Everybody's using my lingo.
That's redundant.
Cute
Yep.
bulb.
The
Well,
link is
you know,
honestly a link.
it's
Oh,
kind
there
of
it is.
Link
what
is in
we
the link. I
say.
said that one night.
There's no
And
link.
then I always say someone's in the house. I've seen
Yep.
people using that a lot now. And then so
Yep.
it's kind of funny.
When
Well,
you
I probably
become-
would have
when you
sounded like
become a
Phil, too.
poop, it just kind of natural becomes part of your language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. But like we said, how you would sing things. I used to sing things with my best friend when I was younger. We would go into just random opera
Mm-hmm.
over stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god. One night I sang everybody's comment in the side chat.
Hey, Howder Garden.
And Warren Lewis was in there. So then it naturally came out. I told
David
Warren,
the Good does that and plays an instrument at the same time. You got to up your game, girl.
I told
I'm
Warren Lewis, I said, your name just
We're
sounds like a
expecting
jazz song.
you
Doesn't
and
it?
love.
I could get my guitar over there and do it.
Yeah, Laura. There you go. Okay, so this is, if you guys want, this is what it is. It's a vanilla bean frappuccino, but
I
then
like
they add.
You are
honey.
really fixated on my Pooh Bear Frappuccino.
Well, you said it was better than sex, so I got to check it out.
Yeah, but my comment was refuted by everyone.
Well, I still had to check it out. Of
Okay,
if
go
I
ahead,
said
go
it's
ahead, go
better
ahead,
than
go ahead,
sex,
go ahead,
You know,
go
I go
ahead.
to you for my news, so hey, I gotta check it out.
Tell everybody. Secrets out.
All right, it's honey and then cinnamon dolce syrup and again cinnamon powder.
Yep, Bob.
To top it off, he adds whipped cream, and there's your caramel drizzle. And it looks-
See,
This is
so it's
so
the
cute.
cinnamon
caramel
dolce
or
that
is
I'm
it
tasting.
caramel?
They even
inside.
now have a special cup for it. How cute!
I've never
Come
seen that.
aboard. We're
We're
expecting
expecting
you.
And
Oh,
love
oh.
won't hurt anymore. You know that Captain Stubing was like 45. I thought he was 70 when he did that show.
He looked
At least
70.
makes-
Oh,
Oh my
he had
gosh. The only people
he
looked
had
young in there were Julie and Ted Lang, the bartender. Oh, and Gopher. Gopher looked young.
Go for
Yeah. Yeah.
Gopher did look
Well,
young.
he became like a mayor or governor.
Oh, a congressman from Iowa.
And
That's so crazy.
Now he's the radio host. He's got his own radio show.
Glenn.
Congressman Gopher.
At least there was an
Well,
actor there
Not
that
his real name.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm just playing.
Yeah. Sup, Bob?
Hey, not much. Just messing around here at the house. Just the Corky's Cork. I like that.
I
DeQuarky.
like that too.
I kind of dropped that name on her.
And how to color
DeQuarky.
the
On the-
cork.
on the-
He said, duh.
On the picture she sent out, it said Corky's Cork, and here's this cork.
Where's
And I'm
this?
looking at it, and I'm thinking, my mind's going all the wrong places.
Hmm.
I see no link.
Where's your mind going, Gil?
I was
All the
happy
wrong
for
places.
you
Are we circling back to the cracked peach or whatever it was again?
Oh,
because
God.
my demented speech affected someone in a positive manner. Now you've got a business named DeQuarky. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
The Corky's Cork.
Coolness.
And I'm
Total
quirky,
cool.
so most of the paintings are going to be kind of quirky.
All right on. What's this? Do you stick with one style of painting or art? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to do this turkey today, and I'm not.
I like that.
Do you like the turkey?
Yes.
Mhm.
Courtney
Let
has
us
this.
see it again.
Courtney-
Let us
What
see
kind
it.
of turkey?
a
Wild turkey?
Courtney has a wild style.
Hold on, I'll
She
get it.
merges.
Is it a wild turkey or is it a domestic turkey?
It's her turkey, her one. That
Oh, her
she-
actual
Yeah,
turkey on her farm.
Abby,
Yeah.
good to see you.
I
in
feel
here.
like I'm very vulnerable as to showing you guys this stuff because, like, it's like
Oh, does it suck that badly?
As a
Me
former
too.
art teacher,
Oh, go
Courtney
ahead.
has a very
Okay, let's see it.
style. It's
Let's
really
see it.
cool.
on Cordy.
I love it.
Take it off. Take it off. Show us.
Flip it.
I'm like nervous because what if you guys really like seriously though? What if you don't like it and you're just gonna be nice and be like, oh, I love it.
No, no,
It
no,
really
no.
like it looks like shit. All right, you sure?
Yes.
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 Go,
This
baby.
is it so far.
All right.
That's it.
It's not.
Her
great.
style, I would say, is
Rock
like
it, babe.
folk art mixed with modern art.
Is,
Mhm.
is
It's
it
not
a,
finished.
It's not
is
finished.
that a armadillo?
Really? Okay. I'm never showing you ever again.
What did
So it's got scales. It looks like an armadillo.
Oh my God, Chris, you
I know
live
what
dangerously.
armadillos look. They're usually on their back with
What?
arms
Well,
up in the
thank
air on the side of the
you.
road.
Hey, man, you
So
put my
sweet.
glasses on. Hang on.
that man? Or
I have some paintings. I don't know if I want to give them up because I have had them for years.
Yeah, I get that way
And
too.
yeah,
I get that way too. With certain
but
ones.
Can I commission you to paint me an armadillo?
maybe
With your face on it, Chris?
depends. It
Oh,
depends on
that's
how
just
nice
messed up. That's just messed up. You're off the panel. I'm taking over. Laura, taking the show. I'm taking the show over. She's sanctioned for her behavior.
No.
It's gonna take me a minute to actually put my paintings up there and stuff, and actually.
Yeah, because I just
have it
looked and you're
started.
not up yet, right?
No,
You're
not yet.
Okay, okay.
I tried to find your channel. I can't find it. I don't see any link in
It's
here.
not. It's
so-
not there yet. She said she just opened it. She didn't put stuff up
I
yet.
haven't put it
Gail.
up there yet.
Okay. All right.
This is Broken Peach.
Oh, broken.
It's set on this thing. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
So
That's
there's a
Peach.
broken
I'm not going to play it So it's a frozen thing. That way you don't
Oh.
get dinged or anything. But
Okay.
that's, this is their Halloween special. For
Gil, is
Tainted Love.
this how you're dressing when you're not on panel? Because we need to have a conversation.
Yes, I'm dressing like that guy in the
I do
background,
like-
the guitarist.
I do like the
type.
original song by Soft Cell, Tainted
Oh,
Love. I do like that. That
Yeah,
that's one.
that original
Oh,
is
man.
amazing.
That's when music was great, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. It is.
The 80s had
And
great.
without hat.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Oh,
Uh-oh.
press the wrong button. Armadillo must have got him.
All
Oh,
there
right.
we go. Yeah, the armadillo
What
got him.
happened
Yeah.
there?
Gotta put you back in the middle.
That was
Mm.
weird.
There we go.
Okay.
Hey, now we're talking.
The
You're the
three-letter
middleman.
agencies are listening. They didn't like what you said about the armadillo. They have plans. They have plans with the armadillo like that. What's that other animal they keep finding everywhere? We were talking about.
Opossums.
Joe Biden.
Raccoon?
Don't insult animals like that, Chris.
It's a breed of canine.
No, the penguin,
Pangolin.
Pangolin.
Pangolins.
Pangolin.
Look, they're not
What's a
finding them. They're
pangolin?
killing them. They
What
look
the
like
heck is-
armadillos. They're similar armadillos from Africa.
They said that might have been one of the animals other than the bat that spread the stuff.
Yeah, there's concern about
2020?
that. Yeah. No, that's a possibility.
Pangolin.
Yeah,
But
pangolin.
it was
Look
also
that
on
up.
that magazine that okay, this is Tin Hattie. Okay. It was
Okay.
also on the
Which one's in there?
magazine that interprets what's going to happen for the next year, but it's usually for financial purposes. I
Mhm.
can't think of the darn name of the magazine right now.
Changing
It was
times.
that what?
Changing times.
No, it's
Hey, Blue.
The
it'll come
penthouse.
to me later. It'll
Penthouse
come to me
Forum?
later.
The penthouse forum was the penthouse forum.
No, it wasn't Penthouse.
Penthouse
I'm
Forum.
going back to my virgin wine here.
There you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
Are you really drinking virgin wine or is it just grape juice?
What is
That's,
virgin
what,
wine?
that's what grape juice is. Virgin wine. It hasn't done anything yet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, how
Had
can it be
the
virgin wine? You haven't drank it
pipeline.
yet. Once you drink it, it's no longer virgin.
Yeah, that's pretty good there. I gotta say that.
They're killing pangolins.
Hey,
I
Blue.
just
Yeah,
looked up.
Well, in China and stuff, they use them for like.
Eat 'em.
Well, they
Yeah,
don't just
I've
eat them,
heard.
but they use them for medicine.
Oh, they
Wow.
use them for medicine too.
They
Yeah.
use everything for medicine in
Yeah, they
China.
do.
Yeah, that's what they say. It
They
just
use it
is.
for erections. That's all they use it for. We could just
Was
stop
that-
all this slaughter of animals by giving them free Viagra.
Yeah.
As if
Baby
they
animals,
need
give
any
them
help
whole-
with procreating in that country. They don't. need
Good
any help.
point.
Mhm,
Good point. Yeah, but it's not procreation; it's recreation for them.
mhm.
Why? They have TVs.
So I think Carol just entered the Frappuccinos better than sex crowd.
Oh my goodness.
TVs.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. I
Do
can't
they
think
have?
of the
Do
darn
they have
magazine.
OnlyFans accounts?
Cindy Rice.
Probably.
It's you.
I'm sure.
Shame.
The Economist. That's it. The World in 2020. The Economist had that on there. I put
Okay.
it the darn
Okay.
name.
That used to be
That
a
on there?
legitimate publication. Now it's a leftist
Yeah,
propaganda.
But like it had that on there. It had Putin's pipeline. It has some interesting things that were on the illustration for the
I used to read it religiously. I had a subscription for 35 years, but they become propaganda, so I can't read
Yeah.
them. magazine.
Yeah. Well, tin hat propaganda for sure, because they
Mm.
had some interesting pictures on it that came to light and happened, and not for like an economical reason.
Did you guys see that PooTube put a climate warning for misinformation on my video about abortion?
I
Wow.
did see that. I did see
Climate warming?
Guess
because the title. I said that it's proof that it's genuine because the leftists are losing their mind raising the temperature. So they called it misinformation and they've hidden my video so nobody can find it.
because of the climate of the mothers.
No, there's two words.
uterus?
Climate's the first one. And I said it's real because the ambient temperature in North America has gone up 3 degrees because of leftist outrage over Roe versus Wade.
Because it's like a volcano down there.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's because it's like a
You
volcano.
guys keep going there. I'm just talking about they're excited, they're mad, they're angry, and they're not going to take it anymore.
No, they're
Surprising.
going to claim it's a
guys are just-
climate crisis in the uterus, and that they
Yeah.
want-
Well, now we got to throw
Exactly.
billions of tax dollars.
By the
at
way,
it.
I know that you're all just really curious to know this, but Megan Rapinoe is very upset about abortion being rescinded.
Who is she?
She's a unpatriotic slimeball lesbian soccer player.
No, I know.
Pink hair.
Oh,
Oh,
She-
yeah,
she-
see
the one who
that
ripped off her
Yeah.
shirt.
that
She-
person has
she-
great influence inside of my home. I don't care. Drop dead, lady. Stay out of my house, you know.
Great influence inside of my home.
Then drop dead.
My
She's
my
very
husband
popular at
calls her,
sperm banks.
my husband calls her the she-man.
She-Man.
The only lesbian that ever had some kind of influence in my house was Gillian Anderson because she had some great workouts, but that's about it.
She's a lesbian?
Oh, yes, she is, Chris.
I had no idea.
Okay, careful what you're thinking right now.
I'm trying to remember who she was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Lonnie Anderson, I remember.
So-
Yeah.
Gillian Anderson was what was it? What was it
Lonnie
called?
Anderson, WKRP.
No,
Mhm.
yeah, I know who Lonnie Anderson is. No, it was the show where they got fat people thin by exercise and diet. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But they challenged each
Biggest
other's
Loser?
teams. Yes.
Yeah.
Biggest Loser.
Yeah, that's the show I want to go on, The Biggest Loser. You know? Come
I
on,
know,
man.
what a title.
What a title. That's just not
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the guy who did the workouts was like found out to be, I don't know if he was a wife beater or something, but then he later on had a heart attack. Picture of health.
Karma.
Had a heart attack when he was young.
Probably doing something else.
Yeah, a little
Well,
cocaine.
they
all
already
because he lose
said-
weight.
Some roidy roids.
The Biggest Loser came out. I don't know if it's true or not, but it came out a while ago saying that they were
Fake.
giving out drugs and stuff,
Oh,
and
yeah.
coke, and
Shut the what?
yeah,
Really?
They
yeah,
were giving coke.
So you mean that reality TV is
to get
staged?
people to lose weight and stuff.
No,
because
say it
Well, I
isn't
know they
so.
gave meth to stars way
Just
back
give
in
black-
Hollywood,
Yeah.
but wow, I didn't know that was like good for the reality circuit too.
Yeah, back when the MTV started going into the reality shows years and years ago, they had an interview with the group that was
That's right,
in
the-
Seattle.
Mhm.
And one of the young men said that in order to get more conflict in the show, there was a bar open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in that house, free. Drink all you want. They said that's why so many people were fighting with each other all the time, is because they
Was
were
that the one
constantly
from
are you
drunk.
Arya?
talking about the real world?
The real world,
Some-
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
that was
way
the
back.
one.
At, yeah,
That was the-
but, there was
But most of
MTV that
those
had
shows
music, and then
are all
they
around
switched
TV.
over to whatever
the real world,
the
yeah.
reality shows. Right
They
around that
ruined
time.
MTV. They ruined it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
it
did.
Mhm.
But I don't get those shows, those reality shows where people hook up and they know they're being filmed. I mean, what do they want to be amateur porn stars?
Voyeurs.
No.
Yeah.
I think so.
Hey,
Yeah.
it worked for Kardashian, right?
It just irritated me. Okay, every time I'd watch one of those, that they had cameras in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind
That-
of creepy too.
That's Hollywood
I'm
pervy.
like,
Yeah,
Probably sold
I would
the
never agree to
offcuts.
that.
yeah.
Me either.
I think the
I
last.
don't think anybody with IBS would ever agree to that at all.
I think the last one of those shows I watched was in the early days, and it was in Hawaii. And yeah, once again, an open bar 7 days a week, all they could drink, and one of the young ladies OD'd on alcohol. And
Oh, wow.
that was like one of the very last times I watched that show because it was just too
Oh,
over the
sure.
top.
He was gay too. The guy that was the okay. So then he beat up his male
I hate all
companion.
those shows. I hate all those shows. Ugh.
I love reality.
Survivor, Kardashian,
I used to watch them, but
Jersey
watch
Shore.
it's
God.
trash. It's just
It's beyond trash. It's
I watch
staged
I watch foreign
garbage.
films with bad subtitles.
they're all drunk. They and so
Exactly.
they just
Mhm.
react to each other. They pick people that are gonna react. in
Exactly.
this-
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's all staged. I'd
Yeah.
much rather watch Casablanca.
Yeah. I want to watch Singing in the Rain.
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a great relationship.
Was that a check?
Could be. That sounds like my 4 years in art school, for
Hmm.
other people, not me.
Great movie, man. And it was made during the war. That's all the more impressive.
Yeah, it
Great
was.
You know what? Back in those days, because he's from Austria, but I always love movies with Peter Lorre because he's got that like voice. Yeah, hello, I'm Peter Lorre. Yeah, kind of creepy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
super like annoying.
And Sidney Greenstreet, the Maltese Falcon. Oh, I love that movie.
We'll
Great.
always have Paris.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
more with you singing in the
Oh,
rain,
man,
Laura.
she was drop dead gorgeous.
Ingrid Bergman was
Oh, dear
smoking,
God.
man.
She's still smoking, man. Yeah, no, she was gorgeous. Wow.
That was all natural. There's no silicone back in those times. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
man.
all natural. No,
Man.
no lip implants or whatever.
Yeah,
Beautiful woman, absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
pump me up like a Barbie doll, and I'd be looking gorgeous too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The males in
That was a
my
good one.
family have a saying. Anything more than a handful or a mouthful is a waste.
I think it's
Are
farmer
we-
saying
What,
because
pork products?
knew that one.
I'm pretty flexible. I'll take what's there.
Whatever's there, we're good with.
Wow.
Okay,
I love Jacques
What's that
Cousteau.
right of you?
Hiding
Part of
my
that came
tongue
from
right
my
now. That's all
grandmother.
I can
God
say.
damn, Chris.
Who,
So much
well,
for
we'll put it this way. When she went around in Moo, there was something hanging around her waist.
poop.
And love won't hurt
long.
anymore.
Eggplant.
Come aboard.
We're expecting,
expecting
you.
The love boat.
The plane. Came on
Tainted
after that.
Love.
Soon
Oh,
we'll
love
be
that original
taking
song.
another
Ah,
I
it's
ride.
love
awesome,
that
man.
original song. That was
The
awesome.
love boat. Oh my goodness.
That song is definitely on my playlist. The original
Remember
video.
this song that was so lame that it was so awesome at the time.
Mm.
Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Round. Such a lame song, but at the time,
Right
you
round,
spin me
every round.
right round, baby, like a record.
Yeah.
Player
Oh,
right
what was the
round,
name of that band? I
Dead or Alive, Dead or Alive.
Emo.
Dead or Alive. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those emo
But I mean,
every time.
At that time, there are all kinds of songs made no sense. I mean, what the hell is Safety Dance? The Safety Dance? Oh,
I know, but it's
you can dance if you wanna. You can leave your friends behind. What kind of friend are you if you leave your friends behind?
I know. If
But if you don't dance, and you don't dance, you're
friend
no friend of mine. What the hell is that? You ever see the video? It makes you do ass,
catchy.
man.
Mhm.
Most of them probably did. That's how they
Yeah.
wrote their songs.
Yeah, probably.
And Dexy's Midnight Runners, one song, man, one hit wonder.
I think we
Yeah.
all know by now, though, artists can be inspired by drugs. It's kind of
Sure
a
they
weird
can.
thing.
Oh,
Drugs and nightlife and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dexy's Midnight
Even
Runner when they're in their old
writers.
overalls over there in the back streets of England. Yeah. I like the backdrop to that video.
But you know,
Very
at that time,
authentic.
a great group, fantastic, one hit after another. Madness. Oh man, Madness was awesome.
Madness. Let me go look them up.
Our house
Oh,
in the middle of our
okay.
street. Our
Okay.
house.
Mhm,
What's that
mhm.
castle that I keep? Our mom, she's so house proud. Nothing
So
ever
when
gets
is your
the best of her.
CD coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, any day now. Just waiting for R. Kelly to get out of prison to produce it. Babyface wrote all my lyrics. R. Kelly's my producer.
Oh, dear. You might have a lot of kids hanging around and you don't know why if R. Kelly's your producer. Oh, my goodness.
Honest officer. She said she was 35.
Yeah.
You like ska music, Aid?
Hey,
He
you
was-
a ska
yeah.
kid, huh?
R. Kelly. Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah, MTV
I was like
classic.
Quartz age, I thought.
Alphaville. I loved Alphaville. They were awesome.
I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, let's just
They were.
like no doubt totally put ska into perspective.
Hmm.
The Human League. They had a couple
Yeah,
of
human
great hits.
Don't you
All
want
those are
me,
on-
baby.
All those are on my
Don't
my,
you
my
love me?
playlist. I sit here and mess
Oh.
around and in the house and in the shop, and all those are on my playlist. I listen to them frequently.
The Tubes had a great song. Whoa, we scared Laura away.
Hmm.
She went to poo.
Don't fall in love.
Yeah, Safety Dance video wasn't
She's
it?
one in a million, girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Madness is considered
In an
ska
arcade.
music. Okay.
That's a great video, man.
It was ska.
Step right up.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great song. I love that song. Tubes are great. And then there's a band from Philadelphia that a friend of mine when I was in Germany said he knew them in high school, and he said they're going to be great. And they came out when I was in Germany, and I came back to States. They were huge. The Hooters, they were awesome.
Mm.
Those guys were huge.
Great wings.
No, not those Hooters. And the Hooters. What's the thing with wings? Why do people eat to like to eat scrawny chicken wings? I never got that. That's like the
It-
leftovers of the bird, man. Why would you want to eat this stuff? Buffalo wings. Okay, they're not from Buffalo, and they're scrawny.
Yeah.
They're tasty.
All
They
right.
give you just like how people sometimes like crisp skin on their
I
chicken and they
only
eat the
eat
skin.
the breast meat. That's all I touch on a turkey,
Well,
on a
I'm
chicken.
not
Breast meat
surprised.
or nothing else.
That is my husband
I'm a,
and my mother.
I'm a
right
friggin'
there.
savage. Put it on a plate, I'll eat it. Yeah.
Breast
You are
meat. That's
such a
it.
picky eater.
Yeah, well, you eat balut, Bob.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Nice.
true. Like I told you, and I've eaten crocodile, alligator, snakes that I've killed, and
Do you
just a
eat
normal
beef,
thing.
Chris?
Courtney, did you call me a picky eater?
Mm-hmm. She
Hey,
did.
hey,
and She's
hey,
pretty
hey.
picky too.
That's correct.
Takes one to know one, Courtney.
I know I am.
What'd you say, Carol?
I said, do you eat beef?
I
Steak?
do. It's not my favorite because I was subjected to welfare beef from the army.
Okay.
Back in the 1980s, the Department of Agriculture had tons of excess food they had to get rid of. So they shipped it to Europe and dumped it on the million Americans that lived in West Germany. We took a ration car. We got free beef and ground beef. And it was like, 65% fat.
Hi, Cottonwood.
Ew.
So it kind of
Yeah,
put me off
that's
beef.
gross. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean,
turn
nothing wrong, but a good beef. I mean, I can eat it. I mean, but it's just not my first. My first go-to is turkey. Turkey.
Oh.
yeah, the military grade food is like institutional food.
Yeah, it's
like,
they should have been institutionalized for feeding us that crap.
yeah.
Yeah,
Giant
room-
cans.
there's a room for
giant
them with
cans
R.
that
Kelly.
says- giant cans of like stewed tomatoes, with a national stock number on it, OD green cans. You see a guy on the back. with a
National
big-
stock number. But when,
NSN.
when I came in, when you were in, they still had
Oh
FSNs.
my God.
FSN. Mhm.
Yeah, before the NSNs, the federal stock
Mhm.
number.
Federal, yeah. Mhm.
It was national stock number after that. Yeah, no. I am guilty, Courtney. Picky eater. No onions. Vile, repulsive substance.
I love onions, so.
Don't eat mushrooms.
onions,
Disgusting. I don't eat fungus. I mean, that's the stuff grows under toenails. Who wants to eat that stuff?
Oh,
Chris,
you.
I don't
I
eat
love-
mushrooms because
love
you are what you
mushrooms,
eat, and I don't
love
want to be a
onions.
fungus.
If she
Exactly.
showers first, I'll eat it. Mhm.
You'll be
Laura, oh my
undone.
God. All right. Put Bob in a timeout, Laura.
Bob Marino. That's right.
Oh my goodness. 2017 celebrated
I'm gonna
the
have to mute
25th
you.
anniversary of the No Doubt album.
When was it?
I gotta get going. I gotta get
2017.
up early and get some work done before it gets hot outside. It's supposed to be really hot tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot here tomorrow too. I'm glad I mowed tonight.
It's always hot here.
Well,
Yeah, it's
that's
a
living in
it's a
Florida.
Raging 67 degrees here right now. Yeah.
Shut
Right.
up, Bob.
Yeah.
67.
I'll
Yeah,
send you
yeah,
20
but, yeah.
degrees of weather over there.
But Gil, he has to live with leftists, so it all balances out.
Yes.
What? Me a leftist? Oh
Well,
my
you have to
god.
live
Surrounded
with
by leftists.
leftists. Seattle, you're surrounded by lunatics.
True. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the truth. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't like mushrooms.
Wow.
I don't. I just can't do it.
I love mushrooms.
We have to
All
be
right, folks. I'll
right.
see you later. Have a good night. Have fun.
Have a good night.
Not too much fun.
Always too much fun.
As far as the folks around this area, the leftists and all the others, you stay over there. I stay over here. Just I don't talk to you. I leave. Just leave me alone.
Eddie
Get away.
Money. Oh, Eddie Money was great.
Oh my gosh, my good friend, she was a roller derby girl, and her name was Hurt So Good.
Oh my
Hurts
goodness.
so good. Oh my
good.
god.
Come on,
Great name for a
girl.
roller derby girl. That's
Roller
great.
derby.
Good.
Yeah, what I was telling you, it was 2017 was the 25th year anniversary of the No Doubt album. That's
That makes
crazy.
me
It's
feel
been that
really
long.
old. That
Yeah,
makes
me too.
feel
Just
extremely old.
25. Yeah, I think of albums even older than that. It's crazy.
It is older than that. It was 2017 was the anniversary. So
yeah,
we're in
that's
2022.
Wow.
So
We're 30 now. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, feeling old. But,
Well, when I went to watch Hall & Oates in Philadelphia, they were both in their 70s.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to
But
doing
they were,
that.
but they were incredible. They were incredible. But
Sure.
still, they were in their 70s. Like Hall & Oates. Good God.
I
70?
think that's when it sinks in is when you start to see groups that you watched or stars that you thought were just so hot when you
They
were
look
younger.
like they should be in a
Um,
home.
Yeah.
just like I am older. No.
I was talking to my son, my oldest son, and he's telling me he's going to be 30. And I'm just like, he's like, I'm going to be 30, Mom. I'm like,
It's
oh,
old.
Hey man, after all I've been through, I'm lucky to be alive, and I'm pretty happy to be alive, no matter what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
same here.
True.
You know,
Me too.
Same
I'm
here.
yeah.
very lucky to be alive in many
But I
cases. Yeah.
do recall very vividly as a
Right.
high school student going, man, the millennium, I'm going to be so freaking old.
Yeah.
I was
Mhm.
in my early 30s. What the hell?
Yeah. I remember when I turned 40, I felt like I was just so old and like, I don't know, there's something when I turned 50, I was like, oh, big deal. You
I
know,
was
but
50 was
40,
when I felt old. 40, I was fine.
yeah.
Well, I was 29 for 12 years, so I missed right through that 30 and 40 thing.
Yeah.
You guys are laughing. Every year my mother called me happy birthday. How old are you this year? 29. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Think about it.
Mhm.
I'm 29. You're 49. Oh, I like your logic.
So cute. Your mom sounds cute.
Yeah, she was all right.
She was a card.
Pretty crazy. She was definitely a card. Yep. She was definitely a card. She definitely got up to some things. We had some really wild stories. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but we lived in California when I was a kid. And one day my mother was called in and questioned because there had been a homicide. And all the employees at the grocery store were called in and interviewed by the police because they couldn't figure out what the motive was. They assumed it because the owners were known to be skinflints and stingy and didn't treat their employees well. So they called everybody in. But only later did they figure out the Manson clan were the people that killed the LaBiancas, not my mother.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa, but she was suspected?
Well, all the employees were suspicious. I mean, they interviewed all of them. Yeah. No. But my point is, my mom worked for the LaBiancas at the grocery store, and then we left California in our converted mail truck, which was a camper, and we headed back. And in Arizona, we picked up these girls, and we gave them a ride. They're hitchhikers. Well, I thought they were girls because they had long hair. One of the guys' names was Tex Watson. We dropped him off in Texas.
No way.
True
Come on,
story.
Chris.
True
True
story.
story.
True story.
Dancing with the devil right there, man.
Creepy.
Wow.
Of course,
He's the one who did most of the killing, as I understand.
Bob, I know that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah.
you guys, wow.
Mhm.
Just wasn't your day to die.
No, well, or any of us. No, but we gave him a lift. He was going back to Texas. Remember, he got extradited from Texas. I don't know if we actually dropped him off in Texas. I was a little kid. I don't remember. I just remember him getting in, and that's what it was. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Then,
crazy.
then we were in living in. Is it Memphis? Is where Graceland's at, right? Yeah, it's in Memphis.
Mhm.
We were living in a trailer park. This is a real
about-
story. Yeah,
Scary
that?
place to live, Memphis.
Memphis. Well, we were in a trailer park. It's it's what must have been the late '60s, I guess. Anyway, so when was the Manson thing? That was '69 or something like that. Yeah, so it was after that because we moved back across the country. So we were in Memphis, and my dad was a contractor, and he worked for Elvis Presley. So as a little kid, I used to get to run around Graceland. I met Elvis. He was so cool. So cool. And when he died, I never forget what I was doing. I was in tears. I was so upset because I really liked Elvis.
Aw.
He was so nice to me. So cool. And it wasn't Fat Vegas Elvis yet. It was still cool Elvis.
Yeah, you knew him.
He blew up right after that, though. He's like, shortly after that. All those
I
pills.
wonder what that was all about. Was it alcohol or
Pills.
what?
Pills. They
Pills.
just like Michael Jackson. Just like Michael Jackson. You know?
I was told that he couldn't help it. Like nobody would give him any help because he had a pill to go to sleep and a pill to wake up in the morning. And
Yeah.
there was nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
it was the pills, and it's really sad.
it is sad. And if you mix them with alcohol, that's even worse.
Even worse.
Incredible
Especially back
talent Elvis Presley was. I mean, he didn't have the best voice, but he had a great, unique voice.
Here.
He could sing gospel and rock and soul. Incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, was that from hanging out with though, like the Southern blacks that he was influenced by that music?
no. Oh, you mean the music?
That they-
Oh no,
yeah,
it's because of where he grew up. Yeah, he was influenced by that is, so he sang a range of things. He sung gospel when he was a kid. I mean, that's that's what he started with.
that's where
And
it
then the
started.
rock thing came along a little bit later on. So yeah.
My
And-
mom was like, I liked his music, but why do he have to do all those gyrations?
My mother's generation called him Elvis the Pelvis.
Yes.
The
My
women
mom's
were
coming
complaining, but they're
concert
still
twice.
watching.
Laura, did your mom get off the commune very often?
The ladies complained, but they still watched. They enjoyed it.
Still did
Mhm.
watch, that's for sure. My mom and I think
And they were
everyone
wishing their husband would gyrate like that.
Mhm.
Deep down, they were.
Yes, they were.
By the way,
Random
Bob,
chance
the
like
the
that?
La Bianca thing is 100% true, and my mother's name is
Wow.
still in the interviews. The thing with Tex Watson, as far as I know, it's true. I remember picking them up, and my parents told me that's what it was after they found out. After later on, he was extradited.
Yikes.
I mean, I can't attest it. I just know that's what they told me. So
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Wow.
yeah, but the La Bianca thing, yeah, she worked there. We were in California. She worked at the grocery store. So
Yeah, I think one of the closer calls that I had, well, I was drugged on a riverside once and fought my way out of it. But I am sure it was Gary Ridgway because he worked right across the street from the Boeing Renton plant at the
He
Kenworth
worked for
factory.
sure.
And I can sense some things about people. And it was a pickup truck coming the opposite direction. And there was this dude in that truck was pure freaking evil. I mean, I could see it. And I'm pretty sure it was him. But
Oh
I
my
came
God.
with I came with about 2 or 3 feet of this guy. I was like,
What did he look
man,
like? Do you
I can
remember?
tell you about the aura. It was like black, pure black. I mean, this guy was dirty and dark, and not a big guy, scrawny fella. But when he got that,
You
when
tell
somebody
by
threw that,
looking at him that he's like,
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could, and I mean, when somebody flipped that green light on, man, I don't think that anyone would stand a chance against him because he's already 5 moves ahead of you. He's already got you.
Yikes.
Well,
No thanks.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it was him. If it wasn't him, then it was another person just like him.
well, that region does breed psychopaths.
And
Yes,
we
it
are
does.
right.
Mhm.
Look what I shined up today. Do you guys recall this? Did any of you have one in your home?
Like a mixing bowl.
No, the Paul Revere Bowl. It was like a big thing from the 50s. It seemed like, I don't know if they sold them in the mail or something.
Carol, I wasn't around in the 50s.
No, our parents would have had it.
Oh,
Like
Paul
moms.
Revere.
My
Paul
Yeah,
mom
Revere.
the
was
Paul
in high
Revere
school
Bowl.
in the 50s.
Was that your
Yes,
mother's?
Yeah. I found it all tarnished, so I cleaned it up today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you use Brasso?
No, I have this other pumice like stuff that did it. It's an all-purpose kind of cleaner for that, for shiny.
So Laura, Cher is your sister?
Yes.
Okay. Where does she live?
She lives in Portland.
Oh, the crazy town.
And she's a nurse and
cool.
a foster parent.
Oh, that's awesome. I had foster parents. Good ones and shitty ones
Adult
too.
foster homes.
Yep.
So
Yeah, there are good ones and there are shitty ones.
First ones were really, really good, really wonderful people. I think he was a Presbyterian minister, if I'm not mistaken, upstate New York. Yep. That was an interesting experience.
she's dealt with a lot of crazy stuff. She's against the jab and has dealt with a lot of stuff being a foster parent and under
Yeah,
that.
I'll bet. I'll bet.
Yeah, I've used toothpaste before, but it tends to just get tarnished faster the next time.
Yeah.
Met all.
Yeah, I want to get some Metol, like Bob says. He's the man when it comes to
Right there on Amazon. It's right
I
there.
know. I have to wait now. That was the other thing I ordered was sherbet cups from the depression glass. I have part of my great grandmother's set
Mm.
because my mother, before I knew that she was having dementia like stuff going on, was starting to give it away, pieces of it to our cousins.
Mm.
And we always used it at Thanksgiving for our Thanksgiving
Suddenly
dinner.
it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, suddenly I've got pieces.
My
parts.
mom didn't have dementia and she was giving my dad's stuff away after he died to
Whoever.
people and not
Oh,
asking us if we wanted it. And I was just like, but she
yeah,
was
it's
just,
heartbreaking.
yeah.
She was distraught. Probably
she,
not
she
her.
didn't want to have the stuff around.
Around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It just, she couldn't, like his office was like that was the place she had a hard time being in.
I'm sure.
But it might have meant something to you guys, so it's kind of a drag.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was tough for my sister and I, but
Yeah.
It's
Strange.
liberating to get rid of junk.
So
I've been doing that in preparation for either a domestic move or at the end of an international
Yeah.
move. It's liberating. 'Cause
Yeah.
I see stuff that's just been sitting in the house or in the bedrooms and all that for months and months and not touched, not used.
Yeah. I'm still
Gone.
cleaning. Yeah, I'm cleaning out.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Well, when my father passed, I got nothing. When my mother passed, I got nothing, and that's because I made a point of telling her my younger siblings need those things more, And so, and that's fine with me. The most important thing they could do for me is knock boots and, fertilize the egg, and boom, here I was 9 months later. That's the most important thing. So giving me life was enough. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think
And I
that's
really genuinely mean it. All the things I've been through. I'm lucky to still be alive, and I'm happy to be alive, man. Just
but if
plain
there'd been a
simple.
few million, I'd have been happy to take
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
that would have been nice, right? For
I
sure.
wouldn't. I'm going to turn it down. I'm just
I'm
saying.
more interested in the sentimental things like
No, I got that.
Yogi?
But I mean,
remains.
Laura, my childhood was pretty horrific, and there's not much sentimental there for me, so that was easy. So
Yeah, you don't need reminders of it. Yeah.
no, it's not reminders. It's just like there's nothing special there. I mean, it's anyway. It's just the memories are there. So I mean, the good memories, and and then all the things I learned not to do to be a decent person by watching other people act like asses. So
True.
great
Yeah.
life lessons. So yep.
You're one of the smart ones who was able to do that, and so many millions of them
repeat
are
it.
not able to do that, and
Well,
they
Was
just
that why you
continue.
went into the military?
What's that?
Is that why you went into the military?
No. Okay, so it was 1982. I graduated. If Courtney says she wasn't born, I'm going to smack her. Anyway,
I wasn't. I was born in 84.
81 here.
So
I was 12 years old.
I wasn't born in 81. Nice try. So I was 1982. Unemployment was 26% in Perry County, Ohio. I didn't own any land. I didn't have any money. I wasn't a particularly good student in high school because I was busy milking cows and baling hay and walking back and forth for sports because I couldn't get a ride. Anyway, why am I getting echo now?
I don't know. Where'd the echo come from?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Not mine.
so I
It's 3-letter agencies.
So my plan was just go in the army. Yeah, that's right. It's the NSA. My plan was just go in the army because I didn't, but I had a couple of teachers in high school, and they're like, "You should go to college." And I look at them like how? With what?
Big
Yeah.
bucks.
No money.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Go to the guidance counselor's office. You can apply for grants and loans." And I did, and I got the maximum state grant, the Ohio instructional grant, and then the Pell Grant, which was anyway. Got the money for school, so I went to college. But my goal to go to college was to attend ROTC, get a degree in history, and become an officer, to be a leader. But I spent my freshman year not going to class and chasing skirts and that sort of thing. So after a year, I was on academic probation, and
It's like my first year, except for not skirts, pants.
wasting other people's money and my time. And I realized it wasn't the best thing to do. So I tried to join the National Guard because they paid your tuition back then in Ohio, 100%.
Yeah.
But the wait was a year to get in. They were oversubscribed. So my recruiter I knew from high school, he was it's a different place, but he covered a big area. So I saw him and he's like, well, you can just go in the army, get money for college. You can go to Station of Choice. You can go to Germany because you want to go there. And anyway, so you get a skill. So I signed up for it and went in the army, and then came back and finished college and fixed my GPA. I went from 153. And then the summer I came back to 219 off of probation. And then in the fall, 249, then 289, 319, 339, something like that. So I just kept raising every term.
So when you officer up, do they require that now? Let you go back to college and get a degree?
Oh, to be an commissioned officer in the U.S. military, you must be a
have a degree.
4-year university graduate, unless you go to officer candidate school or officer transition school in the Air Force. Then you have to have 2 years of education, not a degree. But you must complete your bachelor's within your 8th year of commissioned service. But if you're an officer and you're serving active duty, finishing college is no picnic. You aren't going to learn anything. You'll just take classes, you'll pass, you'll flush and forget. And so you're not particularly well educated, is my experience. So I applied, I didn't apply, but I went through the process for officer candidate school. But I'm like, no, I want to go back to school. I've got this money for school. Besides, I need to fix something. I'm not a 1.5 student, on a 4 scale.
Oh, mine was 1.75.
So but anyway, so anything under 2 you can put on probation. So I went back and I fixed it, and no regrets. Ohio University, when I went back, was just awesome. Now it's all woke, and I find it revolting. But it was a great school back then. Of course, it was the party school in the Mid-American Conference, not like those lame schools like Miami and Kent State where just losers go to school.
Really?
Hi,
Really?
Arlen.
What'd you go to Miami?
No, but I did go to Kent State.
Oh, that's the Golden Shower School. I mean, flashes.
I'm going to smack you.
I went to Florida
that's-
Atlantic University. It was
Of course,
not
there's
even a
trainer-
football school then.
Steve over there, he says he always wanted to go in the Corps. I understand. I always wanted to go in the Air Force. I always wanted to work on the airplane.
And those who don't know Steve, he didn't end up in prison like you
Yeah.
might think. He ended up as prison guards. Like he
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
a good guy in there, I guess.
Did you really go to
Listen.
Kent State?
Hmm?
Did you really
What?
go to Kent State?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for 2 years.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to offend your small
I'm
farming
totally
your
offended.
small farming and Votech school.
I
Yeah,
did
one of
go
the-
to tech school, but yeah, I went to Kent State for 2 years.
Really, the most valuable thing out of my mom and dad's estate, to me, the most valuable was my dad's World War II Army Air Corps uniform. I
Yeah.
still have
That
it.
would
It's
have been cool. That'd be
it's
cool.
pristine, man. It's still upstairs, and I am not parting with
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
if I can't find
Oh,
anyone to
sorry,
give it
sir.
to, I will donate it to the Air Force Museum. And the guy had like 6 or 8 battle stars and an invasion leaf thing for the
Mhm.
invasion of Burma. And
Wow. I have to
he went
correct something real quick.
all over.
Corrections officer. Steve was a not guard. Okay. Moving
No,
on.
corrections officer is very different. Bob, my
Yeah.
grandfather was in Merle's Marauders.
You told me about that a little bit, man. That sparks my interest right there.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I looked into that. That's called Michina, the air base where Dad was in on the first
Okay.
day of seizing that airfield. And yeah, the Merrill's Marauders, they did a
Chris.
flanking maneuver while the Chinese and the Indian
Cosmic
infantry did
Chris.
the majority of the fighting to get the Japanese out of there. And my pictures from that campaign that Dad left behind are all in the Philippines right now.
Oh, okay.
There was a picture of one of his squadron mates standing up in a spider hole, where the Japanese Air Force, most of them went into the town of Michina and fought, but a lot of them stayed behind. And those are the guys that my dad, with a 45 auto and an M1
Cleared
carbine,
out.
and all of them. Yeah, they had to, because these guys they stayed there for months, man.
The Japanese, they just didn't. I mean, they wouldn't surrender. Now I'm confused.
Yeah.
Now Cosmic Cultivators is here.
Cosmic Chris.
Yeah, that's
we're all
Cosmic Chris.
friends.
No, it was Miss Cosmic earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
his
was
wife.
Miss Cosmic, and
His
now
wife. They
Cosmic.
hang out together
No,
sometimes.
but I
you know?
always,
Yeah,
I
you know.
always thought it was his wife that showed up on my show, but obviously it's him.
Steve, I'm talking to Corsair's trainer. What's the difference between guard and officer?
Oh no, that's,
I'm really honest. I don't know.
well, it's
You zombie prepper.
it's a diminishing term.
Zombie prepper.
Diminish what they do. So that's why.
Oh, they diminished their.
Okay,
their
okay.
Corrections officer, not
Okay.
a guard. Yeah.
Okay,
Guards
okay.
stand watch. Correction officers control facilities and discipline and that sort of thing. So I think that's
Okay.
fair. Yeah, I get where he's coming from. Yeah. What I prefer to be called a deity, not simply a god. So
Oh my God, man.
Lovely. As we see
Really?
lightning strike Chris, or him just fall over dead.
Hey, we're going to send you to a re-education
the Lord
camp in
Jehovah
Ohio
hath given
State.
you. The Lord Jehovah hath given you these 10 commandments. 10 commandments.
Mhm. Was your dad able to take any pictures when he was over in Burma or other places? Because
Granddad, not dad.
your granddad, my dad.
Yeah, no, my grandfather had some pictures of there. He also he had some identification from Japanese soldiers that they killed in combat.
Yeah.
Got it,
And
of course, here.
my brother, after my grandfather's passing, came into possession of those things because he lived in New Jersey around my grandfather. I didn't see him for years after that. He worked for I don't know, some Japanese company he was working
Thumbs up,
for.
everybody, please.
Panasonic, somebody like that. And someone there, Japanese, spoke Japanese. So he helped them reach out to the family of those families and return those personal belongings to them about 10 years ago. It's
Oh,
incredible.
nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Very considerate. So, yeah.
I still have up in my safe a bracelet made of coins from all the countries that Dad was stationed in, and he was Air
That is
Force, so they were rapid.
That was
They
very
moved constantly, and some of the currency that it's still upstairs, I believe. I haven't sent that overseas yet, but one of the strangest script he had was there was occupation currency from Italy and from Egypt and all over, but was a note from the National Bank of Japan.
Wow.
And it was written out in rupees. Somehow he got his hand on that piece of script because there were a lot of Indians who were turncoats who wanted to get the British Empire out of India, so they sided with the Japanese, and they went on the Japanese payroll, and that's this kind of script that they were paid in, and he's got one of those,
Wow.
That makes sense. So I want to get Joe Biden out. So I'm considering teaming up with Iceland.
Iceland.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a formidable country right there. You know, all
Yeah,
18 of
heard
them.
so much about
Some
them.
NATO power with no military.
Yeah.
How does that work out exactly?
Who
Well,
pays their bills?
we defend them, and they're part of the political structure, and they allow us to base our forces
We
there.
just need to change
Oh,
Yeah,
it
the Air
so
Force
we
is
do
there.
put our
that he
force-
gets every day. We need to like slip in
Catholic.
our own scripts, for him to follow.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Just like get in charge of that teleprompter and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
scripts and just.
Well, I mean, he gets notes that he reads. Yeah, there you go.
Me and
Keflavik,
everyone
Iceland,
brought
and Thule,
in, or
Greenland
he-
were 2 places where you didn't want to get stationed. No,
Well,
no.
Keflavik's awesome. I've been there. I would have loved to have been stationed in Keflavik.
Mm,
Iceland rocks.
really?
Iceland's
Beautiful.
gorgeous,
And not just because all the Irish slave girls that bred with the Vikings.
which are probably stunning. Their
For the
children,
most part.
I mean.
For the most part.
I'm sure
They don't look butchy.
They're a hardy stock.
They're hardy stock. Yeah.
They're
Lots of fish. They like the fish.
lots of meat.
Well, somewhere along the line, I'm sure that's happened in my heritage since I'm Irish.
Yeah.
And
I only met one guy in the Air Force who was stationed at Keflavik, and he said the restrictions on the enlisted men in the Air Force were very, very tough. You had to be back on the air base by 9 p.m. You're not allowed to marry a
Yeah.
national.
Because the Icelanders didn't want them dipping their wicks.
Yeah.
Correct. But if you were tech sergeant or above, then you could go off the base all night. Otherwise, you got to be back on the base.
Well, the Icelanders have a fantastic history, and the sagas are amazing. And they have one of the most complete mapped genomes because almost everybody in Iceland's had their DNA
That's awesome.
part of a national project, voluntary to do it.
Mm.
They all 280 or 90,000 of them, most of whom are Icelandic from Norse. But throughout the history, they thought that most of the women came from Norway or the Shetlands or Faroes. Only after they had DNA and they started accessing DNA did they find out that predominantly the mitochondrial DNA for Icelanders comes from Ireland.
Ireland. I'll be darned.
Darn.
And the Vikings, of course, settled in Ireland. They took slaves
Yeah.
and they brought them with them to Iceland. So
Those were the Danes, weren't they? The Danes occupied Ireland for quite a long time, didn't they? I think it was
no, they
the
occupied
Danish.
England. Occupied
I thought it
England.
was the
England, huh?
British and the
Norse
Scottish
occupied Ireland.
took over.
The Danes were in the
the
Dane
Danes,
Law, which
yeah.
is East Anglia, and so yeah.
No, who was the group that who settled Iceland? Was it the
Norse.
the Norwegians?
That is Chris
Yeah,
TM.
The Norwegians. Okay.
Yeah, they settled the Shetlands. They settled the
Okay.
Orkneys. They settled parts of Scotland, Ireland, and York,
York,
and the
York,
Midlands. And then they got Iceland, Greenland, and Nova
sure.
Scotia.
Hello,
That's
Hendricks
Finland.
Okay.
Family Farm.
Okay.
Hello, Hendrickson Family Farm.
Is
Hello,
it true that we're really not Irish? We're Scottish and British.
Well, a lot of people who or are you just saying
No, I mean like our heritage. If we say we're from
America?
Ireland,
No, but the thing about that is, okay, that's why there's a broad category of Scots Irish, because Scots Irish are people from the northern part of Ireland and over into Scotland and northern England. So
yeah,
Yeah.
we're Scotch Irish.
and the Scots Irish were a lot of the indentured laborers who came to Maryland and Virginia and North Carolina,
Yep.
as indentured servants. A lot of them.
Yeah, but I mean, was there a true Ireland at one point?
Yeah,
Or
no,
mixed
no.
up?
There still
Okay.
is. Still is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks,
there's
Steve.
Irish there. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I know. Okay, I thought there was just a big.
No, but there was
Couple on
starting
another channel.
the 17th century, the English would do slave raids in Ireland. So
Mhm.
under Oliver Cromwell and the New Common Army, they would go to Ireland and they round up young Irish, especially young boys and girls. They put them on slave ships and they'd send them to the Caribbean and they worked the sugar plantations. They were worked to death. The plantations were owned in the Bahamas and other parts of the Caribbean by the English. And in the 1670s, the governor for one of those islands, it might have been the Bahamas, issued a directive and said that the slave owners were forbidden from breeding their Irish slave girls with African slaves because they were buying slaves that were coming in from Africa and subjecting the Irish girls to, breed with these African slaves because the legal status of the child is a slave if the mother's a slave. That's tradition in most of the world. And if the child is brown or dark, then it's a lot easier to spot them as a slave. Whereas these white folks could disappear, and until they opened their mouth, you wouldn't know that they were Irish. So there was a group of Irish who escaped from slavery in one of these islands in the Caribbean, and they wound up in a remote part of the island. And to this day, there's now the descendants, about 1,000 of them. They're white and they live in the Caribbean, surrounded by black folks, and they still speak a funny version of English because they were former slaves.
Interesting.
That is
Really
really
interesting.
fascinating.
For
How to
100
build-
years, for 100 years, the English raided Ireland and took slaves to the Caribbean. So when people talk about slavery, they conveniently forget that. They also conveniently forget the Barbary Corsairs. Iceland is one of the targets, as well as Ireland and the coast of France and Spain and Portugal, where the Barbary pilots went from Algeria and from Tunis, and they went to these places and they
Exactly.
raided and took slaves all the way up to the 1870s, 1880s. There was an Icelandic priest and his family lived next to the coast in Iceland. These Barbary pirates came there. They raided. They took his wife, his kids, took him to Algiers, sold his kids into slavery, sold his wife as a concubine, castrated him, and then he became a scribe for the Bey of Algiers. He kept him for 20 years because he knew Latin and he knew Icelandic. He learned Arabic very quickly. I don't know what else he knew. The reason we know about this is that after 20 years, he gave him his freedom. He went back to Iceland. And he wrote a book about it, about his experiences as a slave.
Wow.
So I'm getting a little sick of hearing about slavery and reparations.
Yeah.
Shove that with
Yeah, I hear
It's the
that.
same
Yeah.
thing with braiding too, Cindy Rice.
Well, it was very similar between the Scots and the Brits. The British would take Scottish slaves and work them to death. And
they
when my
weren't slaves; they were our farm workers. Get it right.
Oh, indentured servitude. Yeah, that's a nice.
No, they
word.
weren't indentured. We just didn't pay them, man. They got a hut to live in. What do you want?
What do you want?
To burn to stay warm in the wintertime.
You got some oatmeal in a sheep's stomach, and be happy.
We let them have sex, just so they can reproduce.
Yeah. Right after the Battle of Culloden, when they did the Highland clearings, is when my family came over to the New World.
Oh,
My
really?
grandmother's
That's
family. Yeah,
really fascinating, Bob.
yeah, that's
Those red-headed lasses.
yeah.
Sorry.
Because the British Army went on a rampage, a killing rampage.
Did you have relatives that were in Culloden?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a big stone. I got some of my relatives went over there, and there's a big stone on there with my grandmother's family's name carved into it. There's a mass grave of that clan that were slaughtered there. And
That's
We
crazy.
avoided that. My Scottish ancestor came from Inverness, came over in the 1770s.
You
And
need to
fought
find
revolution.
yeah, that's probably around. They might have been on the same boat with my grandmother's family. It could very well be, because that's right after the Highland clearings, and they were so generous to take away all the land from the from the Scottish lords and all that, and they gave everyone 1 acre of land. Hey, this is right on the edge, right on the beach. Go ahead and farm.
I think you meant to say laird.
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 Yeah. So we should pay reparations to everyone except for those people because they had lighter skin.
Well, my ancestors, the Vikings, were well-established and well-known slavers. They took slaves everywhere they went, and
Yeah, they did.
so
Yeah, but even though they took care of their slaves. They were slaves, but they took care of them.
They took care,
yes,
Probably a lot of that. Yeah, probably.
That's why Iceland has predominant mitochondrial DNA from Ireland.
Ireland.
Yep. I believe so.
I think there's more slaves today.
Oh, but those red-haired lasses, you can understand that bloodlust in the Vikings.
That's what I didn't realize, that's what the Black Irish were. They weren't necessarily.
I was always told that the Black Irish had to
weren't-
do with India.
I was told
Spain.
it was Spaniards, but it's not.
Spaniards.
Now they believe it's the Vikings. The Vikings are light. I thought they were all light skinned.
The Vikings went everywhere. They were the most traveled. The Vikings settled Sicily, Tunisia, Constantinople. There were Vikings.
Raided.
Yeah.
No, they settled. They established kingdoms and empires in places. Even in Spain, there were Viking kingdoms there for a
Oh
period.
yeah,
of time.
they settled in England. That's what they wanted to do, was just farm.
York is Viking Jorvik. I was just there.
Yeah.
So,
And plus, they were also mercenaries who worked all around the world. Same with the Scottish.
The Janissaries in Constantinople. They founded modern Russia. Kievan Rus was founded by Vikings. Rurik, all Vikings. They established trade routes all the way down to the Crimean. Yeah, all of them.
Nice, Cindy. Nice having you.
It's getting a bit late, isn't it? Yeah, the Rus are Vikings. That's what I said, Corsair. Yep. I know my people's history. We conquered the freaking world. And then when we became Anglo-Saxon, we conquered it again, even more of it. And we became American and we conquered it again. And we
you
get rid
guys
of
have some really great hair, obviously.
wankers.
Yeah,
We conquered again.
lots of hair
And
follicles in
Yeah,
my
look at
DNA.
that. You and Bob both have like great hair.
Great hair, don't they?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say gray or great?
Great.
Both.
Great and gray.
Both are true.
Great and gray hair. Yes.
So, Chris, your grandfather back in Myitkyina, Burma. All right, where do you know where he was stationed and what he did prior to the China Burma India campaign?
I never had a chance to ask him, and I was a young kid, and then we were taken away, and I didn't see him again the rest of my life. So my little brother might know. I can ask him. Little brother, he's in his 40s now. Anyway, but I could ask Rob. He would know. He's very proud of our granddad. So
Yeah.
Well, is that your heritage? Because you are so light skinned, even though you have the dark hair.
Who, me?
No, Kaylin in the side chat.
Oh, so I had blonde hair, strawberry blonde hair till puberty.
I saw that picture of younger Chris.
And then
All
I had
girls today. We're going.
brown. What's the word for it? Auburn hair for a long time. Yeah. Only as I got older to get darker, and then now it's it's just it's getting that Clooney look, So
Yeah, my husband was a towhead, and then it was like strawberry blonde when he was in his 20s.
well, if you there's a couple pictures in that montage I did, you could see my mustache. Even when my hair was darker, it was strawberry blonde. My mustache.
Yeah, that one with the goatee or whatever. I saw it.
The Van Gogh, I think that's called, or Van Dyke, not Van Gogh.
Oh,
Van Dyke.
Oh.
Yeah, the Van Gogh would be no ear.
How do you like this look?
I don't like this
Are you
painting. I'm going to cut
saying,
off my
Sherry,
ear.
that the Vikings conquered the Middle East as well?
Yes, parts of the Middle East. Yeah, the Vikings went everywhere. It's amazing. The Normans are Vikings. So what happened is that they would keep raiding France, and they would go up the Seine River and they'd burn Paris.
Wow,
And the king, was it Charles the Simple, I think it was, said, "Hey, enough. I'll tell you what, I'll give you this land over here. Just quit sacking Paris." So he gave them Normandy, which is the land of the North, the land of the Northmen, Normandy. And so they settled there, and they became the overlords of a Celtic population that lived in Normandy, not a French, but Celtic. And what happened is that for a century, they would send for their wives back to Frisia or Denmark or wherever they came from, and they would still be by blood overwhelmingly Viking. But after a century, they had abandoned their pagan ways and became Roman Catholics and all became French speakers. So 100 years later, their grandkids wouldn't even be able to talk to them because they're speaking different language, but they were by blood still overwhelmingly Viking. And then because of marriage ties and a claim to the British throne, they invaded in 1066. So my 34th great grandfather, William the Conqueror, at the time known as William the Bastard, because his mother wasn't married to his father. She was a housekeeper.
Lovely title.
Love child.
So William the Conqueror sailed across the English Channel, and one of his admirals was Admiral Adam Guyot. And Admiral Adam Guyot was given an estate in Kent after they defeated Harold Godwinson at the Battle of Hastings, another of my 34th great grandfathers. And so they went to he got an estate in Kent. Now it's Allington Castle that's built there. It's still there today. And over time, because the Anglo-Saxons were still Germanic, French had been a Germanic language, but was destroyed or corrupted by the Romans, and it became a Latin language instead of a Germanic language. So the French speakers couldn't pronounce German names, Germanic names with a hard W and V, like it's Volkswagen. That's how you say Volkswagen in German. French speakers can't say that properly. So Guyot was the name.
Like Volkswagen. Right.
No, but the Viking name was Vito, not like Vito, Vito Corleone, but Vito.
Like
Vito is an old Danish word which means someone who works with the forest or works with trees, like a forester. So Vito was the name. In Normandy, as they became Latinized with French, it became Guyot. Now Guyot already existed in French; it's a long existing name, but it's just easy. So Vito became Guyot. Guyot went to Admiral Guyot went to Kent, settled there. And all the people working around him, the servants and the workers on the farms, were Anglo-Saxons still, and they were Normans. That was the language of the court. And Guyot, over the course of a couple of centuries, became Wyatt. W-Y-A-T-T is the most common spelling. There's W-I-O-T-T, W-I-A-T-T. There's several spellings of it. It's the most common. And the Wyatts were pretty big in English history. One of my ancestors was a poet, very famous for that. Another led an insurrection against the crown. He was imprisoned at the Tower of London and beheaded when he was 34, but he had one son, or I wouldn't be here. Yeah. So anyway, and then they came to America in 1621. The first royal governor of the Jamestown County, Virginia, is my 17th great uncle, Sir Francis Wyatt, and his brother, Reverend Hout Wyatt, is the progenitor of most of the Wyatts in North America. There are 90,000 of us today. 75,000 are white, 15,000 are black, and yeah, we're all descended pretty much from the same dudes. So
I wish I could kind of roll that out of my brain about my family.
it's just one line.
I know, it's amazing. It's a lovely thing that you know.
Oh,
Yes,
don't
we
get
are
me
freezing.
started.
You haven't even
Like a
had your
horrible
wine.
Irish accent.
Our
And I
terrible
haven't even
Irish
been
accents.
drinking.
What did you say, a gherkin?
We are from Friesland.
Thirsty.
What about gherkins, man? What's that all about?
Gurkhas or gherkins?
He had this.
Gherkins.
He had this
Gherkins?
people from what was it? Scotland.
Yeah,
just laughing at us.
Yep. They put it in my. It was on my show. It was on my live, and Mike told his friends who were Scottish to come check us out, and they put it in there like, "I'm Scottish, eh?" Like and they're laughing because we were talking about the bad word that they get to say, like
Yeah.
They call their mates that lovely word that rhymes with unt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Use it
Well,
like
yeah,
it.
I know. I heard that a few times in the pubs. You know, they're
That was
talking to
so
their mates.
funny.
Just for reference, fishes, you can
Yeah,
have
you,
a proper word
Yeah.
like runt. You could have said runt.
yeah, grunt.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You just you go unt. That's not a word.
Mhm.
Punt.
I know.
Runt would have
Punt.
worked.
There we go. Punt. Like
Yeah.
punt a football.
Or punt. Yeah, punt.
There we go.
Mhm.
Sorry, I couldn't think of a word at the moment.
I loved England. I hope that I can get another chance to go back
Night
there with
ROP
my family
homestead.
that lives there. I want to go back to it.
Oh, thanks, Corsair. Thanks, Steve.
He's like, I remember that line. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure I was drunk.
Courtney was drinking, and I think I had a margarita or something from one of
Yeah,
the.
that was a pretty funny way.
That was so funny.
We do have our fun.
I cannot.
Go
I
ahead.
cannot do that accent. I can only do a
I'm
French.
not very good at it
I
either.
can do a
I
French.
can't. You did it better than me tonight. I can't get in the headspace to do it.
I
Yeah.
used to do accents. I
You
can't.
almost have to have a little juice on you. Let's just say
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
it frees your lips.
Yeah, kind of like
Yeah, but yours gets numb.
dancing goes better with a little.
No.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I recall one of the last few times I went to a bar to have a few drinks. It was during St. Patrick's Day, and
Another
all these
sweet
drunks
thing. If you
trying
drink
to
the bar.
sound Irish. I just trying to sound Irish, and it's like, oh, okay, I gotta go. These people suck. Their Irish accents is just a bunch of, eventually it just morphed into drunkenese and
Drunkenese, yeah.
yeah.
It's hard.
Well, I'm trying to be Irish. No, you're not. You're just drunk. Shut the hell up. You've never been to Ireland. You've never
I'm
heard
so
them
glad you
speak.
didn't tell us that.
When I was-
No.
When I was I went to the Olympics in London in 2012, and then I went to the World Cup in 2015. I went and hung out with the Irish. Oh yeah,
They know
That's
how
a
to
lot of
party.
fun.
They know how
Yeah,
to
they
drink.
do. They are freaking alcoholics. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
there is a high level of alcoholism in that country.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm out because
Yeah, I was gonna say it's past my bedtime, man. I was.
Yeah, it's getting there.
But
Getting late.
this was fun, and maybe next time I will have a couple of drinks and I'll do my Irish accent.
I meant to
Where's
ask.
your wine at? Don't you usually have a wine?
No,
Yes,
No,
no wine tonight.
I can tolerate that online, but when you're in a bar full of smelly people who are just trying to sound Irish, like, oh man, get me
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
well, I don't smell, so that's good.
No, I smell
I do.
delicious.
I do.
She showered today
Fantastic.
for us.
I have showered today.
Yes, I smell like
Okay.
strawberries.
All righty. I'm out of here. You guys have a good night.
No, I have a
Hey,
question
guys.
just real quick.
Okay, what's the question?
On your shoulder, the triangle patch in your army greens. What is that? Your army dress
On
green?
my right shoulder, the green,
I
the
guess
color.
so. It was facing the camera.
My combat patch, 3rd Army Division.
That's
In
what
the
my
army,
father was.
in the army, you
I
can
have it.
wear any combat patch you've earned in combat. Most people will wear the first patch they ever earned.
Later, Steve.
The first combat patch I ever earned was 3rd Army Division in the Gulf War. So
Okay.
I just
That was
always
the
wear.
patch my father had in
Steve.
his
Thank you for
stuff
coming
from
here.
World War II.
What's that, Laura? Oh, she was thanking somebody. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a combat patch. In the Army uniform, if you wore a patch on your right sleeve, it's where you serve in combat. On the left sleeve, it's your current unit of assignment on your dress uniform.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wondered because I have one of his old patches in it.
Oh, and you
Just
recognize it. Yeah. All the armored divisions were triangles with the 3 different colors, blue, yellow, and red, or whatever it is, and tracks on there, different numbers. So that was 3rd Armored Division, which doesn't exist anymore. We only have 1 Armored Division now. It's 2, the 1st Cav Division and 1st Armored Division. So that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
All right.
Bedtime.
Cool beans.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Yeah,
Take
Mount
care.
Doom. Bye,
Peace.
guys.
Right. We have to do like the queen.
Yeah. Yeah, the Air Force doesn't wear shoulder patches. My dad's Army Air Corps or Army Air Force still had shoulder patches. Like his one was a tiger, because that was the last place he served, was a China Burma India theater, and then another one over here. I don't remember what it was, but the Air Force took the patches, and on our green uniform, a utility uniform, we put them on the front on our pockets and above our pockets. The squadron, what was it? Let's see, it was like squadron patch, maintenance munitions. Mine was tactical air command over your heart, and then the wing patch, the 474th Tactical Fighter Wing.
Yeah, the one that he had on it just
separate.
reminded me of the one I think I showed you at Bob.
Yeah.
That was in my dad's stuff.
On our dress blues, we don't wear any patches at all. The only thing on mine was my ribbons, and then a badge for maintenance munitions 5 level, and that's about it. Air Force uniforms are really pretty plain. They just look like a suit,
Yeah, Steve's gone, so I can say that Marines have some of the best dress uniforms still.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
I think the second uniform that I thought was really one of the coolest was the dress uniform of the French Foreign Legion. They're a gray colored uniform, and they, it's just very, very not American. It's very foreign,
Who can't you hear? TM.
I want to know who threatened him not to show his face.
Who?
He's always welcome to show his face.
Yeah.
I'm looking. The white with the red and the green? You said gray. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, the French Foreign Legion? Yeah, look at them when they're marching down the Champs-Élysées. They only allow the Foreign Legion into France one day out of the year, and then they put them back in Corsica because they're afraid of them. The French are actually afraid of the Foreign Legion.
Chris?
Yeah, they it's kind of a gray color uniform with a blue cummerbund around their waist and the cape blanc, the white hat.
Yeah, I see it. They're only showing it from the back.
Yeah.
Like you said, at the Champs, however you say that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a little known fact that they only allow them to in mass one day a year during that parade, and then they put them on a ship and take them back to Corsica. Get out. We don't want you in the country. It's because they tried to overthrow the government at one time. I think it was when France gave back, I think it was Algeria, back to the nationals. The Foreign Legion was stationed in Algeria, I think it was, for a century. And that's where they buried many of their dead. And the French said, no, we're not going to remove your dead and take them to our new posting. And that's when they sent some professional killers to go and kill Charles and assassinate Charles de Gaulle. They were going to kill him,
Yeah. Idaho, Chris actually mentioned you in his show today because he was talking about a friend that he lost, and he was saying how amazing it is with YouTube, how we can meet people from all over. And he thought of you and your channel when he said Idaho.
Yeah, that's why I've been in international chat for a long time in different programs where I can speak to people in their living room who don't have a political agenda, and I can actually talk to them about their daily lives. What kind of schools do your children attend? What's your work and how much is your salary?
I think that's why we love like Yossi and I like talking to Aid to find out a little bit.
I keep on inviting him, but he hasn't responded.
Well, I was wondering if anybody heard from him recently or not, and wonder how he's doing.
I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
I know his health has been suffering a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope everything's okay with his dad
Good
and
to
his
see you,
brother.
Chris.
Howdy.
What's up? Howdy.
Howdy.
How you doing?
With your 8-foot green beans. Are they green beans or what kind of beans?
Asparagus beans, maybe?
No, they're green beans.
Green beans that are 8 feet long?
8 feet high.
Pole
Oh, 8
beans.
feet high.
Mhm.
It's like 8-foot long green beans. What you feeding them?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is
feeding them rabbit food.
rat poop.
Rabbit
Oh,
poop.
rabbit. Sorry.
I'm amazed that you can keep them in this heat. But
Did
you
you
water
Rabbit.
them early.
The rabbits. Yeah. Do you do the frozen jug thing, like frozen water?
Yeah, I've lost a few though.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah. But do you do that with the frozen water bottles? Because that was a concern
That's
here.
what I
It's
do.
our heat.
Yeah,
I also did the misting.
most all the ones I lost though were like the Rexes, which
Mm.
they're like small bodied, short ears.
Mhm.
Yeah, you said that's right. I remember now. You were saying the ears are how they get the heat out
Yeah.
of their system. Yeah. Okay. Now
From
I
everything I've read and researched over the years, you know.
Yeah, that
they-
was in my rabbit book. I remember when you said
They
that. I
have-
was like, "Whoa, really?"
They have
Really?
all them veins and whatnot in there, and that keeps them cool.
Mhm.
They say you can actually take, just wet your fingers and rub down their ears and help keep them cool.
Oh,
But
good
that's
to
a lot of
know.
work when you have
Yeah,
30.
that is a lot of
Yeah,
work.
a bunch of them. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. They really liked the misters when I did that, just to keep them cool,
That's awesome.
And when they
Cosby.
didn't want it, they would just get away from it. I would only run it like at 20 minutes every hour or something like that, and it was just
Mhm.
enough to take the edge off.
Well, that's
Yeah, I
Plus,
remember
it
you
kept them
saying.
undercover, so they had,
I'm so glad you two got out of where you were living before, because you guys had folks coming over your fence all the time, man.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
letting
it's
my
it's
rabbits out and my chickens.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
darn it.
it's the hell that I live in still.
Yeah.
Um,
I meant to tell you guys and forgot
can-
to say it while Chris was here. There's single dad homesteading. Him and his daughter are traveling to like all the state and I guess federal, I don't know, parks. They call
Mhm.
it parks. And he's having trouble in the state of Washington. And the state of Washington, whoever he contacted with Parks and Rec, whatever,
Mhm.
whoever he talked to,
Yeah.
was like, oh no, those couldn't be closed. And he drove by one in his next video where it says closed for camping. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of them that are closed for camping. And he thought, oh, it's, maybe the homeless, maybe that other word that was in the side chat.
Mhm.
And, no, they can't be closed. So then I was like, you know what? That actually might be a good story right there. Why are they doing that? And who's in their parks?
Right.
in
That's
in
filling
Washington
them up.
State.
Mm-hmm. State of Washington.
Oh yeah, you can figure that though. What's that, Mrs.?
It's so close to the man with the big
okay, there we
S
go.
in front of his name.
A little
or,
bit.
like up, isn't he like right up in the Canada area? Or no, Mr. Sorensen.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering if he's stocking up. Okay. Stocking up people in the
The wife must be home.
camps. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. Like,
Well, you can pretty well guess where they're coming from,
Right.
because it's federal land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh,
But
there
yeah,
you
I
go.
just thought that was interesting when he said it because it was like it didn't click at first. I was like, maybe they're protecting the. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe they're protecting them,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure they are.
giving them free little area to live in.
Mhm.
Well, as far as
Well, they meet
know,
them.
I mean,
Until you meet
even before this big thing that was made by Central Asia, my wife's in healthcare,
Mhm.
and she was telling me about her patients who are without papers. I was concerned about this, and I got harassed until I put a couple of videos on private about the health issues of these folks that are without paper. It's better to put them in a national park.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh my
Cheer.
God, man! They're bringing in hepatitis and
Mhm.
everything. You know.
Yeah, Gary, but this is just like this one state that he's really having trouble with, and it just happens to be Washington.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting. I don't know if he's, put that together when I made that comment, but I'm sure he could because he's former same thing Marine and used to deal with the guys that are on planes that are law enforcement. I can't.
Mm.
He was one of those. Like
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. He's not a dumb. Him and his daughter are traveling, and that's why it's ticking him off. Like they counted on those less expensive campgrounds to make the
Right.
trip. And now the whole state is basically closed down for them. They had to spend like a night at like a Walmart.
Yeah.
Bummer, Steve.
I can understand their frustration.
Okay.
Yeah, he's homeschooling her and giving her that experience, which is incredible. So we were trying to, like, don't focus on that one state, And he said he's coming
Yeah.
actually down our way in, I think, a month or two. He was like one of the first lives I was ever in.
People want to go to Florida on purpose.
Hey there, easy. We are a tourist state. That's where we make our money.
Yeah.
Our governor wasn't dumb with what he did. He was just like, we're going to do this for a little while, but we got to open up. That's our state
Yeah.
economy. You're going to
Yeah.
take no,
Yeah,
we're not
I
going
get-
to take it.
But California's missing those dollars, or they missed them for a long time.
I'm sure they got money funneling in from
Mhm.
Yeah, you know they do.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It
how
owns a lot
that's-
of those places out there that produce the films.
Yeah.
Talk about propaganda machines.
They know what they're doing. They've been doing this all over
Yeah.
the world for a long time, and they're successful. And it's becoming more and
Yeah.
more successful at what they're doing. And,
Right.
and just accept it. That's the way it's going to be. I mean,
Yeah.
the most we can do is vote. That's all. We
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Just
private
keep
private
voting.
corporations, there's nothing we can
And
do
pray.
but
Yeah,
boycott.
that's true.
And
And
pray and
boycott.
stand up for what we believe in. And
Yeah. And boycott. That's very important. If
Yeah.
you find out someone's involved in that, don't buy their products.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just go somewhere else. Do your business.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things I do. That's why many of the things I have in this shop and in my house is secondhand because I don't like the way these companies are doing
Yeah.
business.
Oh, Dick's is
Okay.
on the list now too with what Chris
Dick's?
announced on his channel.
Sporting?
Dick's Sporting Goods will pay women to basically abort.
Hmm.
We'll give them money towards it. It's like, yeah, of course, because why would they want to pay the maternity leave or when they're, people want to take off because their kid is sick? As a corporation, it's much cheaper. Just,
Is that a fact? Is that a fact?
it is a fact. I will
Okay,
not be
there-
shopping there. Yeah, that one's on my
there,
list.
there it goes on another list right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Dick's.
I gotta tell my husband about that.
Yeah. So I wonder how many companies are going to hop on that train.
That's why most of the
that's
stuff that I
It is.
most of the stuff that I want or need, I buy it secondhand and I fix it and then put it into service in my house.
I hope our
We
state
do that too.
changes the law here that ends, in our state.
Yeah. Well, that was like the secondhand stuff that I got, like my mom's, the depression glass, and that one
All right, I'm going to rebuttal against all of y'all on that.
Mhm.
kerfuffle. You're gonna start a kerfuffle.
Yeah, a fluffle or whatever
You
you say.
kerfuffle.
Go ahead. Go for it.
The reason being is, do you remember Hobby Lobby when they
I
Yeah.
remember.
passed all the mess where they didn't want to
Mhm.
insure women?
Yeah. Yep. What? They didn't want to what?
They didn't want to insure women
Oh, I didn't know
Or-
that part.
certain specific reasons.
Oh,
For the contraceptives.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, where's that going to end? I mean, if you're going to draw a line in the sand,
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
okay, on the contraceptives, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's a totally
But-
different. Abortion shouldn't be used as a contraceptive, and that's what
Yeah,
this country's
that's
been
Right.
that's what I'm
doing.
not
That's,
okay with.
but then
Right,
they've been
I know.
saying it's because of rape and dot dot dot, but then all those scenarios that they create are really like, I think it was like it was really low percentage rate of abortions as a whole. It was a
Yeah.
very low percentage rate.
Yeah.
So
And that the recent wording of what they want to push through. I mean, talk about sickening. I mean, it was sickening to start with, but where they were going with it
yeah.
and what
Yeah,
they
just a
were
minute.
trying to push through is just
Oh yeah. They were killing children. It wasn't even to the point where it was just a little, double cell. It was full on children that were born, suck their brains out, and basically kill them after they're born.
yeah.
Okay. My
Yes.
point behind all of it is, who wants to give away their rights?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I mean,
Right. Yeah, but the
Like I
federal
said,
government, by the Constitution, is not supposed to be in charge of that.
right.
So
And that's why
I
bring up
get
the
it,
Hobby Lobby
but yeah, I get it, but I also don't get it.
I don't believe companies should do that too. But I
Mhm.
think that, I mean, if you were an employee for Hobby Lobby and you wanted that covered, I can understand that they should have a free choice, just like I should have a free choice. And,
Yeah.
I mean, we need to respect people's choices, whether we believe in them or not. I mean,
Yeah.
in this country, we are free to worship who we want.
Yeah.
And so
I'm just saying the incentive to kill your child rather than have your child is kind of crossing the line compared to,
right.
I don't necessarily agree with Hobby Lobby doing that. They should be able to, just like Laura said, have the
Okay.
freedom to choose to
Yeah.
use
I'll
contraceptives. I'm fine with that. Use a contraceptive. They're acting like those don't exist anymore.
Right.
I'll cross another line. My son, which is pushing 30, he has friends that have probably 9 kids by 8 different women or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think at some point they should be made to be fixed?
Made to be fixed?
I don't
Yeah,
believe in
I mean-
forcing anything.
No, I
That
think they
crosses
need
the-
to be, I
the
think
human rights.
the lack of fathers in people's lives
Yeah.
is why this is happening.
Yeah, a lot
Not
of it is
taught to be
that.
men.
Yeah.
And we need to learn how to mentorship young men and young women. And that's where we're going wrong.
Yeah.
There needs to be a whole mindset change. I understand what you're saying. I
They
truly
financially should be penalized big time because they still made that baby. So they
Yeah.
They
just
already
Yeah.
are.
everything
I paid
should
over.
be
And I
I
think
paid
they
over
should
half
go
my
to
wages.
jail. I think they should go to jail if they're not paying for those
Right.
support for those children.
Okay.
Yeah, come to Washington, you will go to jail.
Yeah.
Bob, I understand your point.
Mhm.
I really do.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like, say, one specific fella.
Mhm.
He's, say, 25 years old, has 9
Mhm.
kids by 8 different women. Decided, he's going to file for disability. So guess what?
So he doesn't have to pay.
And
Well,
they
is
can't
he?
do a thing
Well,
about it.
yeah, he's mentally disabled already. I guess
And
for having that
he's
many
not.
children.
He's not. He's never worked a job in his life.
Yeah.
And
There's definitely
there's
something wrong with them, Tennessee, to be
no,
that
there's not.
flagrantly lack of character.
He's a bum.
Yeah, he is. He lives with his
Sociopath.
grandmother.
There you go. Mhm.
Mm. Lovely
So
character.
that's one thing that women need to stop doing.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to make my point.
Hanging out with those men that are like
Men
that.
need
Choose your partners
women
better.
need to stop supporting bums
Yeah.
and
Or thinking they can change them with
right
love.
or
Bingo,
supporting them because they have children and I need to support them so they can support their children. There's a lot of women that support their sons because their sons have children so that they won't lose their grandchildren. And
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. But if you get into fixing him, where does it stop? Like, then they could make an excuse to fix anyone.
Right.
We would that's another reproductive right that, like, that the federal government does not, they can't have that in their hands. Should his mother go have him fixed?
I know.
Probably.
It's a fine,
Might teach
it's a
him a
fine
lesson.
line.
There's
No, his
a
mother
fine
actually-
line with a lot of things, and I think it's just there's
She got out of prison when he was like 18, so you know.
Yeah.
What was that? His mother did?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. There's
And
some
then
screw up
about-
there. Yeah. He might be drug and
about-
alcohol exposed because he's
Yeah.
Oh, of course he is. That's all he wanted to do. But you know,
Well, that's why Bob was saying it's a good thing Chris went the opposite way with his upbringing, because a lot of the ones don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's biological, even though they look normal. There's chemical imbalances that are just so messed up in the brain that you don't see it. You see it in behavior like that,
Mhm.
like not thinking of consequence,
Yeah.
not caring for consequence.
his whole background as far as why he couldn't get a job or whatever was he had anger issues.
Yeah, he's impulsive.
Well,
He's drug and
about-
alcohol exposed.
About the most
Yeah.
I have done, 'cause I have known people like that, men and women in the same situation.
Mhm.
Distance, put distance between people like that and yourself. Put distance between people who are harmful to you, no matter what, family, neighbors, whoever. Distance, get away from them. Don't let their poison come into your house. You know.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to accidentally, fix him, that's up to you, Tennessee.
No, I ain't fixing nobody.
Yeah. Mhm, mhm.
I'm gonna
He
tell you,
falls into a
Like-
bear trap.
Like, oops.
I'm gonna tell you,
I don't know how that
I'm like
dismembered
drama
you, but I get what you're saying though. I mean,
Trust me. We know as foster parents because we've met the parents. Well,
Yeah.
at least in document form
I mean,
of some of the children that
it's
we've
just
had
as-
and thought those thoughts.
yeah, it's just as bad on the women's end where they just keep on having children
As currency.
as currency to get money.
Yeah.
And it's sickening. I've seen that so many times.
So have I.
And it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And
But to only blame it on the women is a problem, like I saw
right.
with like quotes like, "Oh, she should keep her legs shut."
no.
Well, the man
what-
should
I
keep it in
wasn't
his
talking
pants
about
then.
fixing women.
No. I'm saying with the argument of
I'm
like
saying it could go either way. You
it could
could
go either way. Is all we're saying.
if you're gonna fix a man, you might as well fix a woman too.
I
And then it
think.
does-
I mean,
And I'm
okay,
joking because I
Yeah.
don't believe in that, but
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, Chris.
my point is, like, after you hit a certain point, if you can't support any of them kids and you're
Yeah.
living off the government,
Yeah.
That's right where they want you.
Mhm.
at some point,
Socialism at work.
nine kids later,
Yeah.
you know,
My son was number 10, Tian. The son
Okay.
that I have now. And he's the worst as far as I know, mentally and stuff. But if she got fixed, then we wouldn't have had him, and I wouldn't have watched my husband fall in love with a little black boy and break a cycle in his family that's been going on of bigotry. He saw it didn't matter. Didn't
Right.
matter.
It's all good.
Yeah. So there's reasons for certain things that we can't understand. That's the thing too, is those women who aren't so smart maybe or are drug addicted, that's their only wealth. And
Mm.
poor them, they're screwing it away. Like they just keep having more and more children and they're not cherishing the wealth that gift, because so many other women can't have. My stepdaughter, it had to do IVF to have children.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, kind of. I think I sent you a video. Maybe I sent to you or Courtney. I know I sent one video to Mac out there,
this is
Maccabeus,
coconut oil.
about a Catholic church that was vandalized in Bellevue, Washington, by a radical. I'm sure. I don't think it was a group, but this guy was definitely out of it. And yeah, I talked to Mrs. about that last night, and her Catholic churches she goes to, they're looking for volunteers
Wow.
to guard the church.
Like security, yeah.
Yeah, it's already started up here in the Northwest. It's already begun, and at least the churches here are becoming proactive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're I don't know about armed or whatever. I don't know. I asked her, I said, I've got skills. I could go volunteer. She said, no, don't do nothing that's going to screw up your visa so we can leave.
Yeah. She wants you guys to be able to. Yeah.
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 But it's gotten to that point up here in the Seattle area where, at least the Catholic Church is now getting guards.
Well, even when I went to Calvary Chapel down here, when the church started to get so big, they had security. You just didn't know it.
Yeah.
They were plainclothes security.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they had people that had security on the back, but then they realized that wasn't too smart. That they needed,
just leave them plain clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, because then they'd be targeted.
Yeah, well, targeted, and they watch where the security goes, and then they
correct.
They can go different direction, whatever.
Yeah. But I guess this church, part of the topic among the parishioners in that church, it was because of they're expecting mass shooters to come into the Catholic Church and start murdering people, and so they're looking for volunteers to come in and stand guard. It's like good,
It's already like happening just randomly.
Yeah.
Randomly happening as they're saying about the assault.
It's fight
things.
back,
Like
fight
just
back.
random
fight back.
fires happened in Oregon when the A people were in town.
Yep, up here too, Laura. I remember 2 years ago. I haven't forgotten one damn bit of that. I'll never forget that. This whole area was all farming, growing berries and rhubarb, and now
Those people, they went in jail and then they just popped back out and then they started a fire the next day.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What was their incentive? I don't know. Maybe a little cashola.
No, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. They're on a payroll. That's why many of them will post what they're doing on a Facebook channel, so they get paid.
Yeah.
And these people are well organized. They are very because they got all law enforcement exhausted up in Seattle and Tacoma, and then they branched out and they went into the suburbs a little bit, and they tried to go into the mountains, and those people came out armed, the citizens. And I can't find any of those videos anymore. All those videos are gone.
Of course.
Where there was armed people standing along their small town streets with every firearm you could imagine.
Yeah.
So they went back out of the mountain towns, and they went along state highways and lighting brush fires. And I remember seeing a fire that was filmed in the middle of the Cascade Mountains. It was in a straight line. You know how that happened? Right through the mountains. You know how that happened? A box full of road flares and a Cessna aircraft throwing them out. It's like, you sons of. I haven't forgotten one bit of that. None of it.
Yeah.
The highways right around here were on fire.
Well, that was
this hit close to home.
Yeah, in the gorge, it was all inflamed. Right along
there
the
was a home center on here
anywhere where you could throw something out, close to the road, and
fireworks and
and
roadside flares.
The tourist damage that it did, it was just crazy.
Yeah. There was actually a homesteader on here who was saying, "Oh, let's not say it's them that's starting this," and I know, la la la, and I'm like, who is starting it then? They're just randomly going off, but they're catching people with incendiary devices, and they're not doing it.
Yep.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, is that if you don't live in those states, or you don't know somebody who lives in those states, or where Tennessee, I don't know if any of this kind of crazy stuff goes on here, but it was just so crazy in Oregon and Washington.
It was sweet.
Yep.
Not really out here in my neck of the woods. Heck, you got to go through 20 miles of woods to get here.
Yeah, you're set.
But in the towns, have you ever heard of, like, in Memphis or or Nashville.
Knoxville or or
Yeah.
To clue you in, Tennessee, or anyone else out there listening, they tend to go for the cities that have got the largest income. Like out here in Washington State, they go for the cities such as Tacoma. It's one of the biggest seaports.
Yeah.
Seattle, a big seaport. Everett, a big seaport. They start in those cities, and then they branch out to Bellevue and Kirkland. That's Microsoft, and then they move deeper inland. But I remember there was someone who's here in Washington State sent me some links to some of their YouTube channels. Those folks. Yeah. And one of the videos I'll never forget, I can't find it anymore. It's gone. They pulled into a gated complex up in the foothills of the Cascades. And every resident was standing out at the end of their sidewalk along the road. They were not armed that you could see. But
we're talking about the Summer of Love belt loop.
Yeah, 2 years ago during all, and I'm quite sure it's going to happen again out here in Seattle, Tacoma area, and Portland. And all, but these folks went into one complex. They got behind a car with a swinging gate, and they went in, and they saw that the entire population of that complex was standing out on the roads waiting, and they turned around and they left. Tennessee left.
Sorry, Tennessee. No, I accidentally dropped it.
Okay.
Sorry. I apologize. That was not meant to happen.
But just a heads up to you guys and the rest of the country who have not been affected by this yet.
Yeah,
they're going to start in the cities that have the largest amount of commerce, money, and shipping hubs, trucking centers, the largest amount of income. That's where they start.
It'd be interesting if they hit Miami, thinking that they're going to take it down easy with all the Cuban population that's there. That's very much
they're smart enough not to go into the residential areas.
Yeah, but I mean, just even the city itself.
It depends on where they are.
Yeah.
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 In Oregon, they went to some of the residential areas.
Yeah, they did. They tried that here in Washington, and that. Especially, and then they went out in the rural, out in the foothills of the Cascades, and that didn't work. They got stopped, but cold right now by the population because they could see it coming.
They tried the residential areas here.
I love that in Polk County. Here, you see the sheriff on TV sometimes for different things, but I think
or they again. Well, they start with an A.
Yeah, they like to. Yeah, they like to dress all in little black outfits.
Yeah,
and black umbrellas. Yeah,
and bring black umbrellas with them, and it's not usually raining.
Yep.
It's a word we can't say, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've been through it, man. I haven't forgotten one damn thing about any of it, man. But yeah. They and another thing too, guys. If you live in other cities, use caution if you see your homeless camps swell in population, because they yoke the strength of these people.
Right.
Because they pay them. They pay them $20 a window. They pay them.
My concern would be Orlando. Orlando's very left leaning with Disney and everything there. That would be a big, and it's money in Orlando.
As soon as you see the population of your homeless camps swell up,
I think
mysteriously.
in Nashville, we've been there several times, and they're only like an hour away, an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
I've only seen one tent the whole time I've ever been there.
Maybe Memphis or Knoxville. What do you think, TN, from being there longer?
Nashville.
Have the most unrest, like civil unrest, like we had 2 years ago.
Probably Nashville and Memphis.
Nashville and Memphis. Is Knoxville more low key?
Knoxville is a little more, I guess, got that southern thing going on.
Oh, okay. So they don't have, So they're like Polk County, where they'll stand on the tops of buildings with their shotguns.
Yeah. I mean, UT is a big thing.
Yeah, just be aware, anyone out there listening inside the U.S., that these people are very well organized. They're very disciplined. They are good fighters, and they strike fast and they get out. So by the time you and the neighbors have rallied together or discussed what to do, these guys have already done the damage and they're gone.
Good night, Glenn.
So just be aware. Get some extra fire extinguishers. I've got like 4 or 5 in my house right now.
Like where I live, where I live, we have a 100-acre farm, and I've explained this to a few people, but
Mhm.
we have a 100-acre farm, and 80 of it is woodlands,
Mhm.
and them woodlands border probably about 10,000 acres of woodlands that are state-owned, or the core,
Hey, Stephen.
which borders all on the rivers and whatnot.
Mhm.
And we're like 20 minutes from our county seat, which has a 900 population.
Hmm.
So I mean, we don't have to worry about a lot out here.
Yeah.
Just be
Well,
aware
it's
that
the same thing where our land is. I mean,
Mhm.
it's very well protected by its citizens, I should say.
Yeah, just be aware that keep something handy, medication, food, water. So if you got to run, it's like I told you, I saw it on our local news where there was a steady line of fire springing up across the Cascade Mountains. They're
Mhm.
throwing road flares outside of airplanes and helicopters, whatever they were using. So the wooded areas, and that's not sacred to these people, not sacred at all. They will light it on fire to burn people out and kill people. So just be aware. Make sure you've got a way to get of escape, basically.
Belt Loop, you got it yet? What we talking about? Look at my comment, and then I can take it out.
Because I never thought I'd see that stuff happen here.
I know,
never
it's
did.
crazy.
I mean,
I know. I don't mean
and-
to sound like prideful, like it won't happen in Miami. They're going to
Yeah.
have a hard time because it's a lot of Cuban businesses, and they watched Castro ruin their country,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they like a
Yeah,
lot
a
of
lot
them.
of people think that the Cubans are all into what's going on, but they're not.
No.
They're not.
We
Yeah. Same
came
with
to this country to get away from this.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Vietnamese population here. I
And they
remember.
went right. They went right leaning when Kennedy was
Mhm.
during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
And there was some issue with Kennedy. I don't know my history with Bob, but
Yeah.
the Cubans were like,
Yeah. I'm like.
done with that party.
Well, in the
it
city,
was-
it says a lot when the city that I live in right now in Tennessee is full of Oregonians, Californians, and
Yeah.
Washingtonians.
escape.
Mhm.
Escape.
They've
Yeah.
all escaped
Yeah.
to Tennessee to get out of, because they want a conservative government.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example. Is a few years ago during the Donald's first election, and she heard the communists. My wife is Filipino who survived the Civil War with the communists, and she started buying handguns and stuff. And
Yeah.
we would go to the gun ranges frequently, and almost everyone in the gun range that we go to,
Yeah.
Vietnamese, Cambodians, Filipinos.
The ones who've lived it before.
That's right. And there was like, I remember one stall was 3 generations of Vietnamese. Grandpa, and he was teaching the sons, daughters, and the grandkids how to fire a firearm.
Mm.
And I mean, and there was like white guys with their Vietnamese wives, because and they were setting the women up with handguns so they can defend themselves.
What didn't
Yeah.
they have there in those countries? They did not have guns.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
here they have freedom to have guns, and so
That's
they're
correct.
going to have them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And so,
Man.
of course, the other side of what's
Mhm.
going on is going to go after them
Yeah, that's
because they know that's standing in the way of.
coming from my father-in-law, who fought them physically, the communists. They didn't have guns, but some people did bury. They called it a coffee can gun, and they buried their 45s on the ground, whatever. And when
Mhm.
that night erupted, and my father-in-law didn't have any guns, but he's out there killing communists.
Wow.
He used axe handles, clubs, knives,
Yeah.
whatever, and they
Yeah.
drug
And
them.
you take whatever they have and use what they have.
Right.
You're-
That's how it
you're
worked
using
in
your
overseas.
brain. Yeah.
Mhm.
Overdrive.
Mhm. And the
Totally.
thing that sparked it was when they started killing the Catholic Church. They started murdering
Yeah. Not there.
nuns and priests. That the Filipinos, no more. You lost the pot, and you're done. And the population uprose, and it took them out, man.
Mhm.
hundreds of people in my father-in-law's neighborhood,
Mhm.
blood in the streets, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well,
that's
it
the
makes
sa-
me
that's the same
wonder.
people. That's the
Makes
same
me,
people we saw in the gun ranges. The same people
yeah.
who
Mhm.
did
They
that
went
back
through it.
home, you know.
Yeah. Who had
Yeah.
to do that. I was going to say, well, I wonder what happened when that happened. We heard something about that in Europe, where they were. It seemed like they were starting it back then, Bob. Like in
Yeah.
those years where the Summer of Love, they had like a murder like that in one of the
Mhm.
Catholic churches, like a.
Yeah.
And I wonder what the outcry was from the locals. They won't play that. They
Yeah.
I
won't
don't
play
think they'll
that
put
on.
up with that. Yeah.
Yeah. They won't. But I mean, they won't play it on
Well, it's all
TV, so we know.
suppressed.
No.
It's all
It's
suppressed.
suppressed. They suppressed the reaction of the
Yeah,
community.
it's like I believe I mentioned another live. Then when the wife and I were in Italy, we saw an Italian news station found a car parked right by Notre Dame that was full of propane
yes.
cylinders and explosives. And the local police found it and they disarmed it and all that. And then, you know, a month or two later, the Notre Dame Cathedral was
And
burned
they
down to the
should
ground.
have let the public.
And they never showed any of
know.
that here
Yeah,
in the
they
States.
should have let.
Zero.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Well,
zero.
there seems to be an awakening that's happening.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
over the last little while, even the people that, well, let's just say my daughter, who is very liberal and very, who still doesn't believe in some of the
Hey,
stuff.
Steph.
Hey, Steph, good to see you. Every Wednesday night, Stephanie,
Yep.
11 o'clock Eastern,
Mhm.
10 o'clock our time. She, some of the things that she's saying, you know, she's still working it out,
Yeah.
working it out, but
Yeah.
is believing
Well,
that.
because they've been let down too by their party.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure they have.
as far as what they wanted, like
They've been
there's.
used.
Yeah,
They've
they've
been
been
used.
used. There's a progressive channel on that. Actually, his reporting is
Yeah.
awesome, and I watch him. And you know, he still wants some of the progressive agenda. He wants the universal health care.
Right.
He wants that. You hear him talk about that, but you also hear him be like, "What the?"
Yeah.
I mean,
And most of it is
why is he still on?
from
Actually.
the top, from the very top. You
Mhm.
know, the president.
Yep.
They're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
How can this man? I mean, why is he not
Mhm.
being
Why is he there?
taken out
Yeah.
of office?
Yeah. Yeah. What are they waiting for to take him out of office?
Right.
When is
Yeah.
the precise time they
mean,
want to move
It'll
the
come.
other one up?
And I think it's because the media now is letting that cat out of the bag all of a sudden too, which
Yeah.
is very interesting.
It's timed
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
might have to deal with the number two,
Mm-hmm.
which she is a number two,
I agree.
instead of the number one, who's
Mhm.
not there when the new Congress and Senate take off from any elections that might have swung our direction.
Yeah.
They'll have a harsher, more like cutthroat
Yeah.
is what she seems
Yeah.
like.
My mentality is I watch a little local news,
Yeah,
very
he's the
little.
resident.
Very little. I think I sent a story about that Catholic church into your email, Carol.
Okay. I'll
But
look for it.
as far as the political end, I'm pretty distant from it. But I haven't forgot what happened last 2 years, and I focus my energies and my efforts on that.
Mhm.
Getting ready, being ready. Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But how are we getting ready? I mean,
How?
I think that we need to be ready, and so many people have talked about
Mhm.
self-sufficiency,
Yes.
talked
Mhm.
about all of the good things, having the right preps, having the
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
you know, protection, having the right everything. But I think that we have to be so careful about how we're taking all of this in our minds.
Yeah.
And
processing.
Mentally is
how we need
important.
to prepare,
Mhm.
how we need
Yeah.
to prepare for persecution, and
Yeah.
how we need to prepare for um,
On the spiritual side of it, because
on the
really we all come
side.
down to just being alone. Like
Right.
if it can come down to that, just
Mhm.
us in a cell by ourselves.
That's
Mhm.
where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I'm here alone all the time.
Yeah. So it's
But
a
I
great
mean,
time
I
to
mean spiritually,
Yeah.
is
yeah.
you know, is what's coming for us.
Yeah.
Is the Christian going to be persecuted? I mean, like you see in other countries,
Yeah.
if we don't conform.
Yeah.
And
You'll just be killed, like Bob said. If in a communist agenda, there is no God. It's mother is your
It's a
country.
state. It's a state.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mother
I
country.
know. I've lived it and I've walked it and I've seen it. So I'm pretty mentally prepared. Plus, I'm also dealing with a daily home invasion threat right here,
Yeah.
every day. So
Yeah.
I'm better off than most other people. So some folks out there who might want to be thinking that it's coming your way, guys.
Yeah. Well, we're talking
And
about the spiritual part of it too, not just
Yeah.
the
But
Yeah.
like
but
not just the mental game of it of getting your
Mhm.
mind right and knowing what to do, but
yeah.
preparing for
being
those times
spiritually
where
ready.
nothing
Mhm.
makes
Well,
sense.
even the persecution, it's coming, and it's
Mhm.
coming here. It's coming. So accept it, brace yourself for it, and pray for guidance and wisdom. That's really as far as the spiritual part, that's what I pray for: wisdom and guidance.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best I can do. But
Yeah.
it is stressful on me. It
Yeah.
is.
I know.
That's why sometimes I'll grab my drum and just sit here and pound on the drum and think. You know, I mean, it
Yeah.
helps. It helps me.
Well, or at least his anxiety, I'm sure, to
Yes,
pound
it
on
does.
that drum.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. And that's one of the things that I do. I found a few things that help to release anxiety. And
Yeah.
that's one of them. And keeping myself busy is another one. And prayer
Like
is
chopping
another
at my
one.
banana trees helps me sometimes.
Mhm, mhm.
Chopping it, like just
Yeah.
doing some pruning.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Kind of like beating on a drum. Tian, did you want to say something? You're clearing your throat like you're ready.
No, I'm just listening. You know, I differ
Okay.
as far as all that goes.
You do not what?
He defers.
He
Like he's
defers.
passing. Yeah.
I,
passing.
I differ
You
in
differ?
opinions.
Okay.
Yeah, I differ. You know,
I would love to hear your
we've had the
opinion.
whole how we differ in religious opinions. We've had that conversation.
Neither Laura nor I can remember it, probably because it was so late that night. But I bet if you said a little bit, we could.
I really
It's
don't
okay.
want to go into this.
If you're uncomfortable, then don't worry about
Yeah.
it. We don't want to make you uncomfortable.
I'm just, you know, I believe treat your fellow man the way you want to be treated.
Correct. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. Because like even you know that you've got to be prepared. Cosmic, you're totally different, but you're still the same like us too, where you know you're preparing for something too.
Yeah.
You
And
feel whatever you want to call it, like a cosmic shift. You feel, you know, like even watching the one that we both watch, that he's actually taken stuff out of the Bible, which is Jacob Israel, I think it is. Cosmic watches him too, and some of his stuff that he sees going on.
Yeah.
And he's more like the Christ, like Christ within, rather than there is a Christ that's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
But like you see the shift, that there's things happening that are just like of biblical proportion.
Yeah. I just just brace myself for the persecution. I'm okay, bring it. I try not to think about it too much. I deal with it as it comes.
Yeah.
Individually, like twice just this summer. That one young lady on the front porch who tried to break in, and then two guys in a car.
Good night, Boots and Bounty.
I deal with it as it comes. You know.
Good night, Boots and Bounty.
Well, it's biblical too. That's each day has enough worries of its own, and just stay in that day. Sometimes too is what you need to do.
Yeah.
I remember when there was two guys in the car right out here who were looking to get in. I know they were, because they came back around the block and masked up, and they were. And part of bracing yourself is what I'm talking about. Is you've got to be able to control your fear. Because I felt fear. I did, because there's two of them, and I'm here alone. I'm damn near 60 years old, a cancer survivor. So physically, I'm not in good shape. Just the truth.
I need to pay friends to come over and just scare the crap out of me. Just to see what my body will do.
I have to. You have to learn how to control your fear. I did not want to stand in that doorway and drive him off, but I did. I didn't want to, but I did. And that's something that people need to work on. I don't know how you can work on it, or anyone out there listening.
I have to ask friends to just kind of drop in on me and not let me know. I don't know. It's like, because I remember when I was younger, much younger, I'm different now and more grown and had things happen since then. But my sister-in-law, she's very tall. She's very much like what we were talking about, Viking, big woman. And her shadow went across the living room, and I didn't know it was her. And all I saw was this figure. Well, I was younger than 20, I think then. My legs locked. And that was more terrifying than her.
Yeah.
Was that my body reacted that way.
Right.
And it just locked up.
You got to breathe through it. You've got to breathe through it.
I had a man come to the door one time, and he creeped me out. And he did a weird handshake. I won't go into the handshake, but let's just say it had sexual overtones.
And he did the tickle thing.
Yeah, I did the tickle thing.
I hate that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I froze. And it was because I have PTSD from some issues, some things in the past. And that scared me that I froze. It's like, why didn't I get up and yell at this man and get him out of my...
You have to breathe.
My son saw that. My son, who was in the military, very protective, and he was like, got him out of there.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't come back after he talked to my son, who was only, he was home from boot camp. He was only like 20.
That's a good guy to have stand by your side, because that's been beaten out of him, Yeah, the only thing I could suggest to anyone is breathe. Just keep breathing. Don't, because that makes you lock up. And predators can see that, and they're going to attack you, because you stalled. Your engine stalled, and they're on you. Just keep breathing.
I think training yourself.
Comfortable with a weapon.
Yeah,
that too. I showed you guys that big bucket full of empty brass.
And that's why I shouldn't have a weapon.
Oh.
But,
no, that's why you should just go to the range and more. That's all.
Or my backyard.
Or your back. Yeah, your back.
Yeah. You guys should be working out. Yeah.
90,
I showed you guys that bucket full of brass I got underneath my lathe. That's from us practicing.
That's a lot of money. You got in your pub, but I mean, well, worth it if you can afford it.
Yes, ma'am. Practice makes and then the knife and all that Mrs. taught me, and then I bought a machine that could make the knives that I carry on my pistol belt like a freaking razor. That's my part of it. It just and just breathe. You've got to breathe, because if you stop breathing and you lock up, you're what's called a statistic.
Yeah.
You are a victim. You're a statistic. If you
I think
freeze
there's
up.
something within me knew that wasn't the reaction to have, because that freaked me out more than the shadow in the room with me was, what the hell are they doing? Why are they locking up?
Yeah.
I might have to run. What are you doing down there? That was like when I was
it's a flight. I mean, it's
that happened on a blue.
That was one of the first indications I had PTSD, though. I mean, it was,
Yeah. I wonder.
I know I have from some. Oh, I grew up with a psychopath.
Yeah.
I have it, and I have anxiety that I wake up in a sweat at nighttime sometimes. But I just
Yeah.
deal with it as it comes. You know.
If I have it, it was whatever happened to me was when I was too young to put words to it.
Which son are you talking about, Stephanie? I have 3. So one is Chris's son, but he's my son. Just so
He's handsome too, so yeah, you're gotta be more specific.
yeah. I have a
Oh,
30-year-old son.
your
I have
sons.
a 27-year-old son, and I have a 21, almost 20. No, he's 22 now.
You look so young to have a 27-year-old son.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my oldest is 30 next month.
as
I
far
know
as
you said that too, and I'm like, what?
the persecution and all that, you can take my possessions away from me, burn it down to the ground, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You can give me a boot party, beat me half to death, but I'm gonna heal up, and it's not gonna change my faith
Yeah.
and my beliefs. It won't change it. It won't. You know.
Yeah. I think it's too though what people might see. Like I remember watching it was a movie about World War II, and it was about the death camps. And it was about the man who like saved some of the Jews by putting them like in companies that needed like slave labor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I can't
Schindler.
remember.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, Schindler's List.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And even for me then, I was like, just watching a movie, I was like, Lord, how? Why?
Allie.
And not even just what might happen to us personally, but what we might watch
Right.
to not lose our
Yeah.
faith, to hold still on to our faith.
Howdy, Food Forest.
Oh, I didn't know you guys are grandparents. No. Congratulations. I'm a grandparent too.
I
But
am too.
you are much younger than me. Cosmic, you and Gina. Howie. Hi. Great to see you too, brother. Good to see you.
We're
Oh my goodness,
grandparents
if you-
yet, as far as we know.
What?
Your grandparent.
grandparents.
Oh. Well, that's from my
I have a granddaughter named Kaylee.
Aw.
She's so precious.
I don't have any of that yet.
Our grand boys basically. Well, Charlie was born up there, but our other Nicholas was born down here, and we barely got to see him because our daughter, well, my husband's daughter, went right into school to become an anesthesiologist,
Of course,
assistant.
my millennial son, who knows,
Good to see you too.
does his thing.
That's his thing, yeah.
Yes, his
My
thing.
son wants to see my ex daughter-in-law,
Mm,
and so I don't get to see her because the relationship is poor. So
wow.
yeah,
That's
it breaks my heart because I used to see her and watch her when she was a baby, and
It's always hard.
it's different when you have grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's a different love.
Yeah, my mom said that too. I had to have my mother's grandchildren move in with us when I just turned 16, the first one.
Mm.
Yeah, talk about not wanting that competition right in the house
Yeah.
at that age. Like that's like,
When I was 13, my mom started taking in foster kids.
oh yeah, same
So,
kind
yeah,
of
I
thing.
understand. I went from the baby to the middle child.
That happened to
Every time.
Hannah. Yeah, poor Hannah had that happen too, and it's funny because she was 16. I didn't do that on purpose. She was about that age.
Yeah. At least she was a little older. She could, understand.
Yeah,
a
she could
little more.
verbalize what was going on. Yeah, I verbalized. It wasn't too nice what I would verbalize sometimes because I was.
Me and her last night we watched. I think it's a 3 or 4 part video on
Mhm.
Netflix about Warren Jeffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Netflix.
I watched the first and second part.
Yeah,
Talk about creepy.
yeah.
Who's Warren? Who's Warren Jeffs? Who's that?
He was the leader of what was it called, Laura? It was
Oh,
Latter
was
Day
the-
Saints.
It was
but
what you were
Oh.
talking about,
Latter-day
Bob.
Saints guy.
I sent that
Mhm.
information to you, and they
Oh, you did send it to me? Okay. But it's on the
Yeah, talk about
uh-huh,
Creeper
uh-huh.
and what he was doing in the name
Yeah.
of the Lord to those
Uh-huh.
kids.
Yeah, ain't the Lord above in the heavens?
Yeah,
So he was
I-
doing that too. His
Warren
Lord,
Jeffs, you are going to meet God someday, and you ain't going to like what you.
no. Better for you to tie a big
but,
old
but women
around your neck.
could not get there from
Yeah.
the way he was putting it. But
Uh-huh.
when he finally got locked up, he had like 73 wives. Can you imagine the amount of kids?
It's disgusting. Now that maybe he could
And
get
a lot,
fixed.
a lot of them were like 12 to 14 years old.
They say that group is the largest human traffickers in the United States right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I saw
that's
I saw like a year ago, months ago, how many of them have moved down to Mexico to continue doing what they're doing,
Oh,
to
wow.
escape the feds.
Yeah.
It blows
It's
me
them.
away. They
Mhm.
said at the end of the documentary thing that there were still like at least 1,200 members.
Yeah. And they still are following him, and he's
Yeah, and he's
He's-
in prison for
and
like
he's in prison,
20
and
years.
a group of them come and take notes, and
Yep.
just sickening that
Well-
he has the right to do that.
Well,
From
the thing that gets me is something you need to think about is that he is not the only one.
No.
That's
He is
what
not the only group.
There's
He is
other
not the
males.
only group. There are
Yeah.
other of the same bunch
Mm-hmm.
are all around the country.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I believe what
And
they said,
traffic,
and that
yeah, young bride.
they are the largest human traffickers in the
Yeah.
United States right now. So
Well, he
many of
was-
them have had to move down to Mexico to
He
escape the
was
federals.
taking the kids from the mothers and
Correct.
moving them
Mhm.
so that he can manipulate those children
Correct.
and taking them as
And
brides
manipulate the mothers.
at
if they-
12
he-
years old. And
Yeah. Yeah.
just
And
As soon as they were 14, he'd have his way with them and ship them off,
Anytime.
sell them off.
disgusting.
anytime he was threatened by another male, he'd ship them out
Yeah.
and
hmm
proclaim their whole family.
And guess what? He learned it somewhere because
Oh,
there's other groups in the country doing the same
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's-
if you've ever seen that.
I told my better half, I was like, you stop and think about it.
Mhm.
How quick it is for somebody to follow one fanatic.
Yeah.
And I mean, it goes on worldwide.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
enemies
you
didn't-
can base it on religion, you can base it on
Yeah.
politics or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
But I mean, these
They
people
thought Hitler
were
was
born.
good in the beginning.
A lot of them were born and raised into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
There's
don't know anything different. And that's
Yeah.
why I think it's still going on, because they truly believe that they're following
Yeah,
the man that is the
The deity.
deity
Yeah.
or the connection to God. They really don't believe that they have that connection to God without him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I told her, I was like, okay, all these people that believe in the Bible, this dude is proclaiming to be a prophet. Well,
Well, they
anybody
believe in
that
the
says that
Mormon.
they're a prophet,
They believe in the Mormon Bible, which
Yeah.
sets them up because for that the prophet is the way to Christ or to God, and that is in the Mormon faith. And
right?
Well, no, I think God was a man that was
Yeah.
just like them, and that they can achieve
Yeah.
that kind of.
But
yeah,
am I wrong?
So it's-
Even their Bible, the
Yeah.
prophet was proclaimed to. If you state yourself as a prophet, you're a false prophet.
Yeah, God named a prophet.
Because remember, his father was a prophet.
Yeah.
And he self-proclaimed himself as a prophet.
yeah,
Mhm. And if they're wrong even once in biblical like in the Bible, you're stoned to death if you do that. If you claim yourself as a prophet and then you are wrong at all in your prophecies or how you speak for the Lord and you're
Mhm.
wrong, you're stoned to death. You're dead.
Yeah.
And he was wrong.
Yeah, he was.
All the time.
What
And
scares
he
me
would
is
always say,
how many
Pause.
other groups in that same church are doing the same thing right now.
right.
Yeah, smaller
He would
sects.
always say
He
that,
said the world was going to end when the Olympics
right.
went to Salt Lake.
That was just
So
an
there-
excuse to move them in a more remote location so
into
that they were out of
Zion.
vision of the cameras.
But he
But
would
that
always say
proved
it
him
was
wrong.
because of the lack of their faith that
That
it
didn't
didn't come
happen.
to fruition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's
He
like
blamed
he
it.
always had a and then
Mhm.
or because of your lack.
Well, he's
Mhm.
moving these people farther and farther away from cameras.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I think it was called Keep Sweet.
Yes.
That's
That's how
it.
it started.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. You should watch it. That comes down to one of my survival theories in life is distance. If anybody, if some of those folks that have come around my place, distance me,
Yeah.
distance from me. I know what you guys are about. I have a good idea what you guys are about. Distance.
I
Go.
do think it's a very interesting though, and I'm not going to say different. I'm not going to mention the different groups, but I will say in all these groups that do not follow the word of God as
But claim to.
but claim to
Yeah, that's dangerous.
do this kind of sick behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. But then we have also those that do the sick behavior in all.
Yeah.
of-
Yeah.
But that's the
Either
thing
way,
is
yeah.
enemy in the camp. Like people
You
don't
can't
recognize.
rule anybody out. You're going to have sick
Right. I
behavior.
mean, you have it
Yeah.
in
They hide
churches.
everywhere.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hillsong was the leader of Hillsong was
Oh, that was awful.
that was horrible.
It was horrible. Well, that was like our big pastor down here, Bob Coy, in
Mhm.
Fort Lauderdale. And what's weird is we were at a small church. We had left Calvary, Fort Lauderdale, and we were at a small Calvary. Our pastor there got into something,
You build them up.
and but his wife wanted to divorce him, is what came out later. His wife really wanted a divorce, so I have no idea how much she blew it up to like our pastor. I don't know like what really occurred there. But with Pastor Bob Coy, it was all over the place what happened. He didn't have just one affair, he had multiple.
Right.
That's why my church is right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Mine's
Yeah.
out there in
That's where my
garden.
faith.
That-
Miss,
I mean, that's
Mrs.
why
is
God warns us not to worship men.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And that's what
Yep.
happens if you put
Because-
them up on a pedestal. It
you
kinda
give them
corrupts
too much power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It corrupts them too.
Yeah, and people end up, and that's with the Warren Jeffs same
Yeah,
thing. People are
idolization.
worshiping him,
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
idol.
not God.
Yeah.
Of course, I broke out
Isn't
the
that
old
funny?
line when
I
we
don't
were
know it. I
watching
don't have
that.
Netflix stuff.
Sorry, what did you say, Chris?
Said, of course, the other night when we were watching that, I was like, the old saying, power
Remember.
corrupts, and that
Yes, it does.
absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah,
Always has been, always will be the truth.
No matter, where
Right.
that man might be, whether in the church or outside of it, it does.
Yep.
Netflix.
But I
Nobody-
got to tell you, seeing that dude face to face, it would take a lot of restraint.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Well,
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I'd love to kill him, but on the other hand, I know he needs punished for a long time.
Well, I
Mhm.
mean, this is what we got to.
is it called Keep
with the-
Sweet, Pray and Obey? Is that the
Yeah.
name of it?
Yeah.
The
It's called
thing
Keep Sweet,
is
Pray,
that
and
we
Obey.
have to remember is that we want to like it's like I'm sorry, but the abortion clinics, those people are murdering children. This guy is taking away the innocence of these babes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
robbing their future and teaching them crazy, idiotic things and taking their power away from them. And he controls them. And and you want to commit violence against them, but you know what? They're going to face God, and
And they might have some consequences in jail if they've done things to children.
Yeah.
because
Yes, ma'am,
those-
they do. They
Yeah.
have to
Those-
put them in
But-
protective
but,
custody
I mean,
or they're
that's
dead.
nothing compared to what they're going to face.
Mhm. Yeah, my church is inside of me. This is a devout Catholic, and they have made a lot of reforms to stop what has happened in the past in the Catholic Church. She's talked to me about that.
It's just
And-
bad stuff, but I can't. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
I
a
have Netflix.
if it works for her, it works for her. But I've been to Buddhist
mother-in-law has
temples. I've been all over the world for different religious faiths and attended services, and
Yeah.
I've still my primary church is right here.
Yeah.
Well, that was the point of,
You
I
know.
think, when Christ came and then the Holy Spirit, the third part of God, the Godhead came,
Hmm.
he made us walking temples because we had that opportunity to accept Christ as and not like intermittent. He was like our lawyer in heavenly chambers is how you can look at him, because he's the only one who could lawyer up, but he paid whatever we did, like all the consequences. He
paid
paid it.
Yeah.
And then once we said, like, okay, you can pay those because I can't pay a sacrificial bloodline that's eternal. I don't have that in me to pay that bloodline.
He came in the form of man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
And-
God reaching us because we couldn't
Yeah.
reach.
And
But
he-
anyway, when we believe that, at least in Christendom, the Holy Spirit comes and you become a walking temple. You do carry
called-
God with you.
It's called Keep Sweet, Pray, and Obey.
Yeah,
Pray and
just
obey.
put the
Yeah,
link.
yeah.
I
yeah.
put the link for her
Mhm.
of what it's called. I just don't have
I don't
Netflix.
know how to link. I don't know how to link.
Yeah, I linked it already. It's down there it's on their Netflix site, but I don't have Netflix. Like, I got rid of them after they did that whole thing with the kids, that show that was sent people up in arms where they sexualized children in it.
yeah.
I heard something about that.
I don't have it for the same reason. My mother-in-law has it, and so
Yeah. I mean, the stuff that I have,
I'm not going to
probably
pay
has-
for it.
Yeah. I've got a subscription to it, and I'm very selective about what I watch.
Yeah.
I saw something about those dancing little kids before it hit the internet and went all around, and I watched it for a moment and went, "This is
Well, it's even
freaking
like
creepy."
watching Dance Moms used to kind of turn my stomach with some of the outfits that
Yeah.
the girls would
Oh,
wear.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
outfits and the moves that they
And
do.
the
Uh-huh,
moves
uh-huh,
with the
mhm,
outfits and being so young, and talk about, like
Yeah, those beauty pageants and all that stuff. That's just sick to me. It's just a
there's no reason for a child to have a bathing suit competition.
no, man. That's just
They
not
put them
right.
through that,
That's
yeah.
not right.
And I don't know
Man,
if they do. I didn't watch the kids pageants. I watched that show Dance Moms, and I was like, no, I can't watch this. I
I
can't.
think it's
do that.
interesting that Warren Jeffs made them wear head to toe underwear.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That is, but it's it's a Mormon thing that they would be bound if it's the same type of underwear that
No,
He
is
was going
that,
beyond
like,
that, though. He was going
sanctified.
beyond that. He was literally making them wear like the kind of underwear you would wear in the
like
freezing.
long johns.
Yeah. And it's like, is that because these men are so sick that he feels like he needs to keep it from getting worse? I don't know.
Well, you gotta
he's
look at that
creating some
whole situation. The population of that church, they're aware of it. 100% aware of it, because some of their congregation have, I got my 14-year-old wife, and it's inbred in these people.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know,
they were saying,
let's
like,
play with
I think
toys.
they basically believe, which a lot of other
Oh.
cultures
He was handing off
believe.
14 wives, 14-year-old wives to like
Yeah.
50-year-old men.
Yes,
As
that's
soon
Well,
as
I
these
yeah,
girls
it's like
get
I'm
their
in that church and I don't do that, but I'm aware of it because my neighbor sitting next to me just got his 14-year-old wife. Woohoo! Don't we all love kids so much?
yeah.
Ch- You know, don't we love kids?
Yeah.
We play with toys, don't we?
Well, there's other cultures, like Laura was saying, that do that too, where the 14-year-old is old enough to be married off.
That's what they were doing with these kids.
Yeah.
Because she's
They're-
sexually mature.
Yes, once they're sexually mature, they can be a wife.
Yeah. But
And
prior
also-
to that, what are they doing to these kids?
Oh yeah, no, it's awful, horrible. But like that, I don't know what I was watching, but it was, or maybe I was reading an article and it was about somebody, a young lady who was Amish and raised Amish. And I had told Bob she was attacked by like her brother, molested by her neighbor, molested by her dad. And supposedly it's common where they'll send the girls away to like a camp almost and drug them. Like they punish the victim is basically what they do. You don't speak about it.
Oh,
that's
You
what
get to
God.
go, or you get to go to this special camp where we help you like rethink
Mm.
what's happening to you.
We help you understand that this is okay.
Exactly.
Well, a lot of times they're like, well, it's because you were acting too sexual or you were doing this.
Yeah, they blame the victim.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
victim
You
yeah.
shame.
enticed the young man.
Guess they would have drugged me
Because
off
they're man-run societies too. They're all
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
yeah.
Pretty much. But just like Bob said, it's like the wives have to know that some of this is happening.
You know they do.
Like, and they don't. It's so
Well,
sad. Like I know
well,
that it's not so easy
brainwashed.
to run away when you're Amish because I can't imagine. You're like totally shunned from everybody you've ever grown up with and known.
Well, that's what they were talking about in that whole series.
Yeah, that they shun you. You
They
lose.
couldn't-
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to go anywhere.
But
They-
but they also the Mormon church also does that to their own people too.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
regular Mormon church. But so does the Jehovah's Witness.
Mm-hmm.
So does the
Yeah.
Scientology people. You know,
Any-
they all
Any
have-
church of any kind that controls what you wear. Distance.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
what you
I-
wear.
Uh-huh.
to call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
call.
It is.
Yeah.
And you
I was
make you
interested
pay for certain
before I
things.
was before I
Mhm.
was married to my wife during those divorce years and waiting for her and all that. I dated a Chinese American, and she
Mhm.
was Seventh Day, and we dated her once, and then she helped me select some appropriate clothes in case I wanted to go to her church. I said, "Well, I can go check it out, but
Yeah.
but first, Bob will help you buy some clothes so you can attend the church." And she said, because I didn't have, I left my first marriage with some tools
Mhm.
and a couple firearms. And that's it. I was out there. I left everything there for the kids, and anyway. That's when I
The
bounced away.
important stuff.
The thing that made me bounce away from her was, okay, she helped me pick out some conservative slacks and all that. Okay, that's fine. And when she said, "Oh, and by the way, you can't wear any shiny wristwatches in the church," and I went,
What?
Distance.
Yeah.
We're leaving this. This ain't right." Because
Right.
I went to non-denominational churches, and I've been to Baptist churches in this local area. They don't care how you dress.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Once you go into a church that controls what you wear,
Yeah.
that's bing, 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 bing.
mean-
Well, I went to Catholic school. I was forced to wear a suit in kindergarten.
Mhm.
Wow. In kindergarten, you had a little suit? I bet you
Yeah.
were cute.
Little
You were
red
probably so
tie,
cute. Oh my gosh, so adorable
all
though.
That's a little different though.
Yeah,
I mean,
the schools all have uniforms. I taught
Yeah,
at
this-
Sequoia Christian. The kids had uniforms to wear there too. And I get what you're saying though too, because I grew up in a strict church and you were expected to dress up on Sunday.
yeah, and I
Sunday
did.
night was a little more casual. Wednesday was the most casual, but you
Mhm.
still had to look nice. Like it was
Yeah.
kind of an
but it was
unspoken though. It wasn't.
more the attitude of you're going to church, you present yourself the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catholic was strict though. Catholic was real strict.
Yeah, well, the schools were, but I've been to Catholic services here and
Well,
abroad.
I mean the schools.
Yeah,
The schools,
are
yeah,
real strict,
the
but they're
schools, yeah.
very like they're some of the best. The Catholic
Mhm.
schools.
They are, yeah. They've got
Those
some
some
very
of the
good teachers.
They'll
But
beat you half to death with a yardstick. You know that kind of
Yeah, well, I got that too. I went to Dutch Christian Reformed school in
Man, it's probably about
Canada,
the
Hey,
and
Howie.
it was the same thing. You got the yardstick, you know.
God forbid you talk out of turn. Whack,
Yeah.
whack, right across the knuckles.
Yeah. True.
We didn't get it that. I mean, they weren't that bad, but I never really taught.
We had a 1 hour religion class every day
Oh
Mhm.
from
my.
kindergarten on, and then every Wednesday and Friday we had a church that we had to go to during school.
Yeah. We had that at Christian school too, where I went.
Mhm.
The church had a school, and honestly, I didn't fit in because I didn't know I had ADHD. And I cheated in Bible class because
And
my
we had
memory was so bad from the ADHD that
Right.
he caught me with an open Bible. Like, what does that do to a kid that they've got to cheat in Bible class with an open Bible? It's like, talk about bringing
I think
down
it's interesting that in Canada they still allow the tax dollars if you want your child to go to a Christian school to pay for that Christian school.
Oh, they do. Even in their socialist nation, they're still allowing that. That's great, though. At least they're doing one thing.
Because
okay.
my cousins were surprised. They're like, "You don't go to Christian school anymore?" It's like, no, we can't afford it. They're like,
Yeah,
"You have to pay." It's like, no.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I kind of wonder, you know, now that I look back, you know, how much was Dad paying for that mess, especially outside of Baltimore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Catholic churches Mrs. goes to, the majority of the congregation is Latinos and Filipinos, and quite a few Africans too.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that most of the females will wear a skirt
Yeah.
to church.
Yeah.
But I
Out
mean,
of
as far as,
respect.
but the thing that freaked me out with that Seventh Day lady that I was interested in was, yeah, you can't wear any shiny jewelry and all that. And I went, oh, I don't like this. I'm not going. I'm sorry. I'm going to break the date with you, but I'm just not going to go to your church. That's just too much. Too much.
I remember that
pretty
Idaho.
religious.
What's
Idaho
that?
Garden Girl. We had the fingertip test for at school for our skirts.
Oh yeah.
And then, yeah, they would measure them. If you look like your fingertips were like right there, it needs to go below your fingertips.
My regular school, did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
when I left Catholic school and went to public school, God, you talk about rebel.
Yeah. Napping a
Were
rubber.
you a bad boy, Chris?
Surely not.
Let that rubber band go. Zing, zing,
Mhm.
zing. I know. When I went to, it's funny, when I went to public school.
I'll just say there was a lot of consumption.
Oh,
I understand.
I did some consuming in high school too.
I was just.
I've never heard
no,
of such a thing.
I was just a little slutty. I wasn't really a drinker.
I was a little bit on the
Well,
loose.
I was the exact opposite.
Yeah, you were a lot bit slutty.
Not, holy mother of God.
Sorry, you left that one. You were more of a drinker and the quiet type, Tien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't go to any religious schools at all. No.
Yeah, then you would notice there was a huge difference. I remember being in middle school and some guy stood up and he's like, I got it. The teacher left. I got a nickel for $5. I'm like, who the hell's going to pay me? I didn't say hell back then even.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's going to pay $5 for a nickel? Like, I thought he meant a nickel. I didn't know he meant a nickel back.
Yeah, yeah. It was a bag of weed. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the kids who were like, in public
Yeah.
school for a while. had to
Yeah, I
look
wouldn't
at me
been
like,
like that either.
what the?
I
I can
remember when
remember
Even,
the
even after I
We-
went to public school, my best friend, he along with me was an altar boy.
The drunk
So-
altar boys.
The drunk high altar boys.
Oh my. I hope you weren't hitting the holy wine.
Yeah.
That's only left for the priest to do. You
Mhm.
get an occasional priest that likes the holy wine a little too much, but I'm sure
Yeah.
there would be plenty of pastors if that was part of the thing that would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I remember the thing that made my family leave the Baptist church was it was a whole family that would go, grandparents, all that.
Mhm.
My dad's got 3 kids. He's a construction worker, and we grew all of our own food,
Wow.
all of our whole lives. And my grandmother, I kind of think that this happened. She kept volunteering my dad to do construction jobs for people in the
Okay.
church.
Hmm.
He's got 3 young kids. He works 10 to 12 hours a day every day, and on the weekend he's got to work on growing food,
Yeah.
and that's when he walked away from the church and he brought us with him. It was like,
Mm.
I'm not going to be volunteered, because my grandmother would shame him because he didn't go and fix a fence for Mrs. Jones. Well,
Yeah.
he was raising a family, and he was over 45 years old working a construction job.
Yeah.
He had to work on the garden and canning food and all that. And the little bit of free time he had was not going to be spent fixing somebody
No.
else's fence. It was going to be fixing ours,
Yeah.
and
my
rest,
Absolutely.
I'm glad it happened that way, because we didn't go too far into it, but
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, like with our small church, I sensed something was going on when the big church came and basically ate us. They just dispersed everything that was that small church to recreate the large church, only smaller, up in my area.
yeah.
But one thing that happened to keep us was they made a bunch of people deacons and elders who had been at that church, who had served at the church. And my husband and I were in line for that. They made my husband a deacon.
Mhm.
And to think of, like, kind of needed to happen that we left in a way, because there's no way we could have kept up our service to the church, plus been foster parents, plus had my dad dying and me going up to I think God knew that I would have lost my dang mind. Right?
Yeah.
Like, just lost it. I kind of did anyway when, there was just church stuff going on that broke my heart. Like, just, wanting to treat it like a 7-Eleven, like suddenly we're a franchise.
Yeah.
Because it's, a mega church that wants to come in and swallow up a small church. But
I remember
yeah.
I remember when I was about, say, around 20.
Mm-hmm.
I was dating a girl, and her whole family was hardcore Southern Baptist.
They're strict.
Yeah. Church Monday night, Wednesday night, what was it? Friday night and Saturday morning and Sunday
Wow.
morning.
Wow. It's a lot of church.
Yeah. So, I mean, I used to go with her, just kind of spend time with her. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
to be with her. Yeah.
And I remember the preacher just going on, oh, yeah, we're the biggest church in the world, and da-da-da. We're bigger than even the Catholics. And my jaw dropped. I'm like, what?
Wow.
The Baptist church is bigger than the Catholics?
That's what he claimed.
Oh.
Southern Baptist is bigger than the Catholic churches. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
And that probably
Catholics have been
scared you to
around for
death because you just,
worlds.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the
That's a
only
big
thing
claim.
about being here. I'm not a Baptist.
Yeah.
And almost every church is Baptist.
Yeah.
Chris and I are trying to find a church that,
Yeah. We're non-denominational too.
yeah,
If you enjoy Vineyard, usually that's
yeah.
You're
We're
non-denominational.
and Chris is basically non-denominational.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, it's
he grew up in a church that was very prosperity driven, and
Yeah.
so he doesn't like that at all anymore.
He doesn't like it if it leans that way. Yeah. My
Yeah.
husband doesn't either.
Yeah.
And like his mom was kind of prosperity too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he grew up. That's so weird. Like our husbands are like so much duality.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
But that would be hard to move to an area and it's all kind of one.
Right.
Knowledge. Yeah. Well, that was one thing I did. I loved when I first went to Calvary, I loved it. When it was small, it was a hospital for the hurting. You could go in there wearing jeans and flip-flops and you weren't going to be judged.
Right.
Because it was just a place for people to come and actually get over sometimes the stuff that they dealt with from another church.
That's what the Vineyard was for my family, because we were coming out of a very judgmental Dutch Christian Reformed church, and then we ended up in the Vineyard Church, which was a hospital, you know, for the hurting, and you know, God was moving, and the prophetic was moving, and you know, but it, you know, there was no prophets per se, but God moved and spoke, and so it was really neat, and I learned a lot there.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what broke me from the Catholic Church. When I was 20, me and my oldest son's mother decided we were going to get married. So, you know, you got to go have this sit down and all that with the priest. Well, no, you don't need to get married. You need to go to college. You need to do this and do that. And it basically got pointed out to me that we need to bring in more income to give to the church.
It's hard.
Red flares. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no matter where you're at, that's red flares.
I haven't. I've been in the Catholic Church maybe twice since then. And that was just because my mother, you know, for like Christmas Eve or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it, like Bob says, it's kind of a red flag.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
why
mean,
I like that.
and you start asking just for dollars.
Yeah.
I like that pastor that Chris and I follow, Jack Hibbs,
Oh,
because
that's right. I haven't watched that either. You sent me that.
He's like, do not contribute to our church unless you are a member of our church, you know. And he's not about prosperity gospel or any of that stuff, you know. And this man gives. I mean, he stayed open in California during the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Kerfuffle. The whole kerfuffle.
And
parallelogram time.
Was forced with, you know, sanctions and all this stuff, and you know, kept his church open anyways. And his church, so many churches shut down in California, and his stayed open, and so many people from those other churches ended up in his church.
Wow.
And his church has grown. He's like got so many services that he has to do.
Yeah.
And but the word of God that he speaks is so alive, and so I do
He's a
study.
good teacher. Yeah, really good teacher.
He's a really good teacher, and so Chris and I just actually love him and just have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my missus is very faithful to a Catholic priest. He's in Cebu City, and he speaks her language, not Tagalog. It's another language during his services.
I love to hear that, where she's like sitting down eating her rice and watching her priest online.
And watching her priest online, and sometimes she'll burst out laughing because
Yeah.
you know a lot of his topics are like, without God, you know, the family can't function properly, you know, and I recognize some of the words like asawa, that means husband and wife, and you know, he throws some humor in with it
Yeah.
along with his daily lessons, and she's a faithful viewer to his YouTube channel.
It just sounds so cute with her,
It
like,
is cute. It is cute.
relaxing with her little bowl of rice and watching, laughing.
Yeah, sitting there eating her dinner, right?
Needs
I can see her on the Mac, and I got the
Yeah.
cameras pointed at her Mac, and sit there. And sometimes
What's
I'll come
your
in and
name?
she's giggling because he's making jokes, but he
Mhm.
seems to be a
I'm gonna
good
make note of
speaker.
that stuff.
Yeah, jokes open up an audience to hear the
does, yeah.
truth
Yeah.
or a truth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you'll make comparison between husband and wife and the
Mhm.
family and things like that, you know. So I can
Yeah.
understand a little bit of it, but not very much. But
Yeah. Yeah. I remember going to the
You know, Ladybug?
family life marriage conference and hearing some of those things, and it was like, gosh, that's so funny, but it's true.
yeah, mhm.
Like they talked about men, like how they will just get into a box and get stuck into the box mentally.
Yeah.
Like we started using that analogy when we came home, and I'd be like, okay, hon, are you in this box? You'd be like, yes, I
What
am.
box are you in? Can I
Yeah,
can
what
I
box
move
are you
you
in
into
right
this box so we can talk about this for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You hop over this box. Please get out of the sex box was usually the most used line. So we can have a conversation.
Oh, that's
For a
funny.
sec.
I am definitely the spaghetti brain, you
Yep,
know, that
me too.
yeah, I'm just like
Yep. But it was like you said, it was good teaching with humor, and we brought home lessons that could help us. And I think that is what you look for too in a church, where it's like, is
Right.
it helpful? Is it something where I'm learning something a little bit new?
Mhm.
You know, not
Yeah.
new gospel, but like
Mhm.
something new I didn't know about in scripture, like
Right.
relating it to maybe how they really were saying it at that point and how it related to their culture.
One of the things that I was talking about with Chris, I said, I don't know what it is lately, and you know how you and I were kind of talking about backsliding a little bit and how you felt maybe that you were backsliding, and I was like, sometimes I feel that way too, but it's I'm relying on my faith less in feelings than actual faith. You know what I mean? Um, I've kind of felt like, you know, I used to be more in touch with feeling God.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because, you know, being a worship leader and always being
Yep.
encompassed by worship, there was
Mm.
always a presence there.
Yes. I
And
loved that bubble. I
yeah,
miss the
and
bubble.
it's a beautiful bubble.
Yeah.
And but the lie is that
If you don't
and
sense
and I
that he's not there.
right, that he's not there, and he is there.
Yeah.
He's always there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
always there, and he's always there for even if I don't feel him in that way.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's we can separate ourselves from God.
Yeah.
Yes, we can in our actions and stuff, but it doesn't mean that God separates from us.
Yeah.
Mhm. Very true.
True.
And so I think that's what we need to remember. And
Yeah.
that's what Chris and I were talking about.
Yeah.
And just because I think right now some of us are so distracted by
Yeah.
this world. We're
Yeah.
so distracted by the horrible things that are going on.
True.
And there's some reprieve in this Roe versus Wade that's happened
Yeah.
that
And the things
maybe
that Chris did say too, like we
yeah,
didn't really.
maybe less babies will be killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And be adopted into families that are into homes. Maybe the options will be given to these young ladies where
Yeah.
they don't feel like that's the only answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know who was saying that. Was that you that were saying when they go into a clinic, or was it Gil, that they can't even tell them the other options. They can't even
Yeah.
say, "Hey, here's this other." They're not. They're
I
like
think
legally
Chris
bound.
said that, and I think Gil repeated it.
Okay.
But
No,
yeah, that they can't even say. I mean, when
it's crazy.
I was pregnant with my middle child, I went into a clinic. I had to go to Planned Parenthood because I had to prove that by a doctor that I was pregnant. And we were in a place where we were in between insurances.
Ugh.
We didn't pick up our new insurance. My husband had left another job. He was in construction, so it happened a lot.
Yeah.
And so we could, at the time, qualify for state health insurance in the state of Oregon. But I had to prove that I was pregnant. So the only way I knew, and they told me to go to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
As soon as I told them that my child wasn't, they asked me if my child wasn't planned. I said, no, he wasn't planned. They said, well, do you want this child? Immediately, there's
Conversation started.
it's immediately started.
Oh
And-
boy.
And I said, excuse me, just because it wasn't planned, it doesn't mean it wasn't wanted.
Yeah, very good.
That's right.
And I said, this conversation ends now.
Mhm.
I'm only here for this.
Yeah. I
And
just need a test, please. Just a little
yeah,
test.
Yeah, I'm here for a
And-
test only.
and
Yeah.
I
Yes.
felt like I've never been in that place before where I felt like I had to be that firm. Another
Wow.
time
That's-
with my third pregnancy,
Mhm.
I had children, 3 children that I gave birth to, 3 pregnancies, but I would have children early, and so I had to get checked a lot
Mhm.
during my pregnancy. And I went to this clinic. I didn't really choose this doctor. It was the only doctor available. I wanted a female, so I got this doctor. She had put me in one room, and in this room, there was a lot of. It looked like an operating room. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Procedure room, yeah.
They dropped me off in that room, and the nurse came back to the room after she left me, and I said, I need to get out of this room right now. And she goes, why? I'm like, abortions have happened here. I need to be out of this room right now.
Mhm.
I can just feel it in my soul. And I was just like, you know,
What was that?
Yeah.
I can't do this. So
Yeah.
Somebody
And
did
then-
walk between the two houses.
Uh-oh. At your place right now?
Yeah, just now. Yeah. Well,
so
oh, well.
Lovely.
I found another staple.
Oh,
Oh.
no. The staple man is back?
Yeah. Mhm.
Shoot.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Laura, but
No,
you know,
does
I
that
was
look like him though, Bob? Is it his
couldn't
house?
see. Too dark. It's too dark.
Okay.
Yeah, my camera picked up on it, started recording, but it's too dark. Yeah, it's just part of the shit I have to put up with. It's constant junkies and yeah.
Do you have like motion sensors out there where it pops the lights on for you, or?
I do, but only if they come up on the front porch. But
Oh,
yeah, somebody went between the two houses.
right.
Yeah, that's
creepy.
But I gotta add, and I'll let you go ahead and finish, Laura. But I understand how you feel about that vibe. But my faith is one of the things that got me through all the years of that freak, that homosexual freak stalking me. Was my faith, is I knew the difference between what right and wrong, and what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
I wanted to react in a way that is permanent
There.
and effective. I wanted to, but I knew that it's wrong,
Yeah.
and that's what stopped me.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that stopped me was my faith.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know what's right and wrong.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. sometimes, you know, life happens, and I know too that you're not. I know you, Laura, as a person, to where you're saying that, and that's how you feel as far as what you've been able to do in your life, but you wouldn't condemn those that have maybe chosen something different in that
No,
circumstance.
I certainly wouldn't. No,
Yeah.
because
Well,
you've got to make your own choices. But
Yeah, I would hope that they wouldn't make that choice, but
well, it's not for me to condemn.
yeah,
no,
exactly.
it's not. It's not.
That's-
I
I'm
just
not
wanted
there. Mhm.
people who are listening to make sure like they
Yeah.
understood
No,
that
it is not
that's
for me
not
to
what it's
condemn.
about.
It is not for me to condemn. It's
No, not at all.
and,
Exactly.
yeah, all of that's in God's hands, and
Yep.
and
Yeah,
he is the judge that sees all.
everything.
Yeah,
Everything. And I don't mean that as God's damning everybody.
yeah,
What I mean that is, and I don't mean that in hell of damnation either. What I mean by that is that he sees our true hearts, and he sees
Yeah.
our true minds, and he knows where our minds are at, where our heart is
Okay.
at, where everything is at. And
Yeah.
so God is a loving God,
Yeah.
and
and all the circumstances, he sees it
and all
all.
the circumstances,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
yeah. So it's not for me to judge. It's for me to love as God loves.
Oh, Stephanie, you're so sweet.
God created us as an
Yeah.
object of his love. So
Yeah,
That's that's why I'm really glad that the Mrs. her Catholic Church, that they were looking for volunteers for security people, because I don't care about the building. I don't care. You know, I don't encourage vandalism,
care about-
but the people. You know, I'm glad there's going to be
Security.
somebody in the church
Yeah.
there's going to be somebody in the church that's going to protect the people. You know, God, while you're doing it. But I use a Pacific Northwest accent when I talk to God. You know. It's like, dude, really? Are you freaking kidding me?
well, I mean, he created you who you are, and I think we
Yeah.
all talk to God in a different way.
Well, we do. Yeah. Mhm.
true. True. That's very true.
Yeah. That
Young
was about
man, Father.
Hey, dude. Yeah,
He
dude.
says, will you
dude,
talk to the
really?
Father for a minute?
Again? You're gonna bring that to me again? Come on, man.
He's like, I already took care of that. Why are you bringing that
Yeah.
to me again?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
my
but-
daughter's so cute. When we pray at night together, and we've been doing it since she was really little. Like tonight, she went to bed because it's already 2 here,
Yeah.
2:30. But
Right.
what she wants me to usually pray. She doesn't want to pray. Hannah's real quiet and kind of like her dad. She, heard me say that. She doesn't really agree, but she does agree. Like she knows it's true, but she's like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I want to be like that. But she will do this thing where she squeezes my hand because I'll be like, okay, why don't you start? And she'll be like, she'll squeeze my hand, which means no, you go. Like you pray, Mom. And so we have this like back and forth, and then I'll like get her dog involved. I'm like, I think Rezzy is even looking at you, and he really wants you to open, and I'll just close in prayer, or you can close and I'll open. Like make this a time for both of us.
Mhm.
But yeah, we have the hand squeeze. It's like
Mm.
between us. It's something that developed over years, and it's I'm so grateful for that time. I think I'll always be really grateful. Like not to force her to pray or anything, but it's like I want to hear her bringing herself, before him rather than me being the one all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go look outside real quick.
okay, Bob, careful.
Get that 9mm.
Yeah, he always has it strapped on, strapped, locked, and loaded. Is I think how they say it, something like that. I don't speak gun so well.
Don't
Yeah.
speak gun.
You guys do. It's like a whole language with the numbers and everything that you know. It's like, okay. Like I still have to look
Right.
at certain initials and go, what's that?
I'm just glad we live way out in the woods.
Yeah. And my husband took down an iguana with our little pump action pellet gun, and he said, and I had just
Y'all
told him,
roast it? Y'all
huh?
roast it? Y'all
No,
roast
we
it?
didn't roast it. No, he
Come
bashed
on,
his head in, and they fed it to the fish. No, he was only a
Would
3-footer.
you roast it, Tennessee?
Yeah, would you roast it?
Yeah, I'd roast it.
You try it?
Look, I'd try a
Yeah.
lot of things once.
What have you tried?
Like, what's the wildest thing
One-
you've tried?
Probably raccoon. That's
Mm.
probably about the wildest. But I didn't care for it. But I think it was the cook.
Yeah. No, I heard somebody else say that they had raccoon growing up quite a bit, and they didn't. It's like a greasy meat. They didn't. They
Yeah,
don't care for
but
it.
I've had a lot of people, like I'm in like some barbecuing groups,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
they
how they
say
make.
like if you smoke them or whatever,
Yeah, that's what they say
Yeah.
about the iguana too. Yeah.
it cooks off a lot of the fat. Which,
Well, they wrapped the iguana that I saw in bacon. I think I told you this. They wrapped them in bacon and put them in a smoker like thing, like where you would put ribs, like those big ones, those grill smokers. And because the meat cooked, all of a sudden the dead iguana that was flat, when they opened it up, he was standing
Oh,
like he tried to escape or something and couldn't while they were. I was like, I don't think I can eat that. Look at it. Standing up again. But he had skinned it and wrapped it in bacon. It was a guy down here. I forget who. I think Yossi actually.
but I know
might
like
have
a lot of
showed
people,
me the
like
channel.
down like in Southern Cali, they cook a lot of iguana.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, Southern Cali, Northern Mexico, that area.
Yeah, I know Mexico, Central America, a lot of the Latin American countries. They make it and they like it.
And they say, of course, it tastes like
Tastes like
chicken.
And I think it's the Peruvians, and I'm not sure who else, but they keep guinea pigs. That doesn't seem like much meat,
There's
but
a
they
lot
eat
of
guinea
there's a
pigs.
lot of Hispanic people that raise guinea pigs for meat.
Yeah, it's easier than like rabbit. Like, what is it? Like, do
No.
you know anything about it since you're in these?
No,
barbecue
I haven't really looked up into all that.
It just seems like they're so small. Like you wouldn't get
no,
much.
I need at least a rabbit. I'm a bigger guy.
Yeah, right. I know, poor Chris. He'd be like, "What is this little toothpick with some meat
Yeah.
on it?" For sure, same thing.
This lady who works at the feed store. She asked me the other day. She's like, I don't know. She got talking about canning and all this, dehydrate and whatnot. Well, have you canned any rabbit? And I'm like, no,
Oh, I've
I
heard.
don't know that. I mean, I can a lot of meat. We can
Yeah.
deer meat. I'll buy a pork butt and I'll cube it up and can it, or
Yeah, put
dried
that in your
beans or
channel.
whatever.
You ever
But I'm
can
kind of
pork belly?
no, I don't know. Don't want to. But
You
I'm
don't like
hesitant.
pork belly?
No, I have pork belly, but I haven't canned it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm kind of hesitant about canning something like chicken or rabbit.
Oh, I've canned chicken. That's good.
I've heard
Well,
it's good too.
Yeah, okay. Like, chicken, skinless, boneless chicken breast. Yeah, I'd can that. But like a rabbit,
Yeah,
don't
it's
know,
harder to
because
get it off the bone.
I'm not going to sit here and debone a rabbit.
Yeah,
That's too much trouble.
I feel you. And I don't like. I've canned boned in chicken, and I don't like
Yeah.
that either. So
Right.
I would have to debone it.
Because the bones totally cook down.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
why I don't want to can rabbit.
Yeah.
It's a great way though to make bone broth, though. I would think if you do it with the chicken bone in, like it just
Yeah.
creates a bone broth around it.
Yeah, it does.
It's
But
going to be
you can just take the bones and make a bone broth too with a little bit of meat on it.
True. I know that's
Gonna-
what I'm thinking about doing with our chicken wings. It's so funny. Chris said that I got free chicken wings with my butcher box order. Hey, Bob. So who was?
It's going to be a late night for me because it was a homeless who walked between the two buildings because they left 2 candy bar wrappers. There's a place that rents rooms not too far in that
Right.
direction, and they all have cell phones, and when one has the fentanyl or the meth that they need, they all start heading that direction. And that was one of them.
It's a shame you guys can't put up like. Do you have a fence there where they can't?
No, this is rental properties, dear. This belongs to a corporation. When we
Yeah.
first moved in here, there were no fences, 0.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's now 1.5 fences, but they've made new units near us.
Um,
The newest units that are the most expensive, that are target marketed for singles, or for, those are
I
totally
know.
fenced. Those are totally fenced, and those
I
have
don't
keypad entry
mhm.
in other than the parking lot. You can drive in the
Yeah.
parking lot.
No, I
But-
just meant in between, like here, because we have the 0 lot lines.
Mhm.
Even before we had the fence, like around back, you have
Mhm.
fences in between your houses, so people can't. Like you have a gate, so
We don't
people
have that.
can't
I
just
think
go.
We can't
that
have that.
you don't see that in Tennessee as much. I mean, the newer homes have fences in between them, but the
Mhm.
older homes,
Yeah,
they
well,
don't
they have more land there.
between them.
That's
Yeah,
a lot to fence.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
the
don't have any.
lots are like over an acre,
Yeah.
you know, in some of these houses. So
Yeah, we don't have any fences.
Oh wow.
And that is what makes it so
Oh.
dicey for me, is because I've got to
You're gonna
toe
have
the
to wrap
line
it
of
up,
of
guys.
legalities. I've got to toe the line because I don't have a fence around this place.
yeah,
They can walk all around all they want, and I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah,
it's a creepy
most-
thing about
it
rentals.
is creepy.
Yeah. But
Well,
we're,
if they
we're
can they give you a copy of like where the lot lines, so you could defend yourself if somebody was trespassing?
there is no such thing as trespassing as long as there's no fences. And this is how it is in
And
Washington
that's
State.
Wow.
Then it's
That's
all
weird.
public access if there's no fence. If there is a fence, then you can okay, the way the county sheriffs and city cops have explained it to me is that if there is a fence and they violate the fence by however, climb over it, break a gate in or whatever, then you can physically assault them, but you better not kill them.
Mhm.
If you
Yeah.
kill them and they're just in your backyard, you're going to go to prison for a very, very long time.
Wow.
Drag them in the
Yeah.
house.
Huh?
Drag them in
What?
the house.
No, you don't do
Can't do
that. No,
The
you don't do
neighbors
that.
will tell on you, the lefty neighbors.
Yeah, and plus the fact that if there is a killing, there's going to be an investigation.
Yeah. They'll see
look,
the drag
we
marks. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, the blood splatter comes all the way up into your house. No, you didn't kill him in your house, so you're,
Yeah.
you're.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know the laws and I follow the laws, and I've just got to be braced and ready, and then that's all I can do.
Yeah.
It'll be a late night tonight because I saw 2 brand new junkies in the area just this morning.
Yeah.
2 of them that I've never seen before.
It was 2020 that made us put up this fence. Actually, it made me beg for a fence. And they could
Wow.
still hop it, but the problem was when we had hurricanes before, and my old neighbor told me they would go right back, just walk right up, like because it was open, walk
Mhm.
right up to her back door and peek in because there was no electric. So they knew you didn't have an alarm system going.
One of the
Yeah.
things that made us want to move out of downtown Portland,
Mhm.
because we lived in downtown Portland before we bought our house,
Yeah.
was junkies walking up to the window, looking in,
Oh,
trying to talk to us, and
Yeah. I don't interact with them. They've passed by my doors and in the front and the back. It happens all the time. I don't converse.
yeah. Don't
I
want
don't
to
speak.
feel
I stand.
comfortable.
I don't speak to them. I stand at parade rest and stand my ground, and I don't answer back.
this one lady, she was like, she walked up, and Chris was very friendly with her and always talked to her and was nice to her, but she walked up to Jonah and tried to, "Hi, little boy." And when she was walking up, she's like, "I'm just trying to give Jonah just something." I'm like, "I am not opening my door for you. Go away."
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, don't be friendly with them.
Tell she was totally tweaking, you know.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
people, the women are pedophiles too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's she's want to also get her head inside your house and see what you've got.
True.
And they
about-
know when
talk
you're at
about
work.
Pedophile
they-
women. What is up with women teachers and pedophilia?
Well, they want to go into teaching because that's where the kids are. The
Mm-hmm.
same with drug addicts in the medical profession. A lot of people go into that profession so they can get next to the dope.
Yeah.
You know,
You okay?
but yeah,
I'm ready to go now. It's
I
2:48.
I
I'm
don't
sorry,
converse with those people.
Yeah,
at all.
we gotta go.
Yeah.
All right,
Gotta
guys.
wrap it up.
Mhm.
Let's
Yeah.
say goodbye, everybody.
Eyes are starting to burn.
Peace out, guys. Yeah.
Thank you
Mhm.
guys for all coming out tonight. I appreciate it. It was a nice conversation, and
Yeah.
I learned a lot from everybody. So
Yeah.
Me too.
God
Nice.
bless you guys.
Later.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.